Smollett case.
We have people every day who have the same class of felony, same background, engaging in the same things that Mr. Smollett did.
Fox saying that there was considerable evidence suggesting some of the claims of Jussie Smollett may have been untrue. Other aspects of the case, she says, would have made securing a conviction, in her words, uncertain. A 16-year-old this morning is facing a reckless homicide charge in a crash that killed an off-duty Cook County Sheriff's deputy over the weekend in Chicago Ridge. The teen was ordered held yesterday in juvenile custody until at least Friday. The teen was driving Saturday when he hit Deputy James Koch's vehicle on Virginia Avenue. Koch was driving home at the time of the crash. No one is in custody following a deadly mass shooting on Chicago's west side. Police say Timothy Lomax and 4 others were shot yesterday standing on a sidewalk on North Hamlin Avenue. Lomax died at a nearby hospital. 4 other mass shooting victims are hospitalized, including 2 in serious condition. There is at least one Illinois lawmaker who wants to get tougher on drivers in order to do better for state troopers. State Representative Tim Butler says the state of Illinois must get tougher on drivers who refuse to move over for troopers and other people on the side of the road. Now, Butler made his call late last week after the death of a trooper in northern Illinois, but before the death of Trooper Gerald Ellis, who was on duty in his squad early yesterday morning when his vehicle was struck by a wrong-way driver on I-94 in Green Oaks. Ellis was an 11-year ISP veteran in Downers Grove. Meantime, funeral arrangements are set for Trooper Brooke Jones Story, who was killed Thursday while making a traffic stop near Rockford. Visitation will take place tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 8 p.m. at Warren High School. The 2 candidates running for mayor of Chicago are pushing for votes. Ahead of tomorrow's runoff election, Lori Lightfoot will focus on a message of change.
I think the mandate's to clean up city government, to make it much more responsive to people, make it much more transparent and accountable for sure, and also just to be honest about the challenges and to involve people into the conversation.
Toni Preckwinkle emphasizing her political experience during a stop at a West Side church trying to rally votes after polling shows she's trailing in that race. On the eve of the statewide consolidated election, Sangamon County in this state is breaking records, with more women running for office than ever before. More than 100 women throughout the county are vying for a political position. Chicago sports, Rangers over the Cubs 11-10 in the series finale. In Arlington, Cubs take on the Braves later on today. Lucas Giolito took a no-hitter into the 7th inning in the White Sox 6-3 win over the Royals in KC. Sox visit Cleveland today. Blackhawks host the Jets tonight, 6 points out of the final wild-card playoff spot. College basketball action, Final Four set. Michigan State is in. For the 8th time in the last 21 seasons, they're headed to the Final Four, and Michigan State students in Chicago are celebrating.
We're going to the Final Four. We're a team of destiny.
This is the year where I'm coming to the conclusion that I never want to graduate.
Well, sir, I think your parents want to talk to you about that. Meantime, the second-seeded Spartans knocked out the top-seeded Duke Blue Devils. And an unlikely run in the women's NCAA basketball tournament ends here in Chicago as the Missouri State Lady Bears fall to Stanford here in Chicago Saturday, 55-46. In for a really good basketball game tonight. How about Stanford and defending national champion Notre Dame tonight in the Elite Eight at Wintrust Arena? Get your tickets now. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts this month at Napa Auto Parts stores. Get a 5-quart jug of Napa Full Synthetic Oil plus a Napa Platinum Oil filter for $21.98. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. 5:07, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager says it's all about your moral compass.
They hate Trump so they can lie. That is the way in which their moral compass functions. I can lie because I am a leftist and I have higher principles than truth. Getting rid of a president I don't like is a higher principle than telling anything true. That is their view. They believe what I have just said.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Stop by your local Ace for our biggest lawn and garden sale of the spring. Get a $5 reward for every $25 you spend on Scott's, Miracle-Gro, and Ortho products. And don't miss our neighborhood yard party this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. See product demonstrations plus get help for all of your lawn and garden projects. Hurry in for our biggest lawn and garden sale of the spring. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members at participating stores and acehardware.com through April 15th. Maximum reward of $50.
Hey, my friend's retail store was the victim of IoT password theft.
Yep. Cybercriminals are taking over security cameras, payment systems, and other IoT devices by exploiting vulnerabilities.
What if they target us and our dispersed network?
We're secured with Barracuda. We have advanced firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our cloud infrastructure, and total email protection.
Such a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
When John Mariotti started Woodland Windows and Doors in 1969, he knew that relationships were important. He knew that he needed to look out for his customers' best interests. Today, Woodland is run by the second and third generation of Mariottis, who continue to build great relationships and to service their customers. Homeowners and builders turn to Woodland Windows and Doors for the individual attention they get on each project. They have a huge selection of replacement windows, skylights, and doors, specialists who know their stuff, and professional installation. Woodland has replacement and new windows, patio entry and scenic doors, and a reputation for bringing customers back for more. Every job is unique, every job is done right. That's why for 50 years, homeowners have trusted Woodland Windows and Doors with their projects. Woodland Windows and Doors, online at woodlandwindows.com or stop by their showroom on the corner of Lake and Gary in Roselle.
Your favorite chicken strips just got a sweet BFF. Introducing the new DQ Chicken and Waffles Basket, a next-level combo of chicken strips, Belgian waffle fries, and syrup. Only at your DQ. Happy tastes good.
5:11. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
On Chicago's south side this morning, there's a fire in the 6800 block of South Dorchester. Kennedy outbound. We're seeing delays from Irving Park to Montrose. This is after overnight construction. The travel times come down a bit. It's 23 minutes from downtown to O'Hare. Inbound, it's fine at 20. Edens is looking good. No delays to report yet on the Eisenhower or the Stevenson. The Ryan is still okay. I-57, Bishop Ford is fine. See no issues on the tollways right now. Some overnight work wraps up. But on the Reagan tollway today in the Sugar Grove area, some major interchange work begins at the 47 and at the 56 interchanges. Will be restrictions. It's traffic. I'm Chip Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
Sunshine, a few clouds. It'll be breezy today, high 50. Cloudy tonight, low 37. A blend of sun and clouds, a breezy day tomorrow. An afternoon shower in spots, high tomorrow at 52. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
26 at O'Hare, 29 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 5:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour Radio Show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, big upset over the weekend. Jesse Williams beating out Jussie Smollett for NAACP Image Award.
Darn it. I
don't know who you had in your bracket.
Well, I had Smollett. I thought for sure that this is a year because he's been nominated so many times before. And he flew out from Chicago to L.A. on Thursday to prepare.
Awards.
And then he ended up not going to the awards. And 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro line. Why do you think he skipped the awards? Was it because he knew he wasn't going to win? Or was he knew that people in the African community, his brothers and sisters, are slowly turning on him? And he'd be the butt of jokes.
I think he didn't want the camera to pan to him when Chris Rock was panning him.
I guess I got to present an award. They said no Jussie Smollett jokes. Yeah, I know. What a waste of light skin, you know? You know what I could do with that light skin? That curly hair, my career would be out of here. You can run in Hollywood. Yes, no, just... What the hell was he thinking? From now on, I ain't never gonna know just... You're Jesse from now on. You don't even get the you no more. That you was respect. You ain't getting no respect from me.
That's right up there with how not to get beat up by cops. Chris Rock material. That's not to say, though, at the NAACP Image Awards that Jussie was without his supporters. Blackish, that sitcom, won for Best Sitcom. Mm-hmm. And when they got up there, Anthony Anderson spoke and then turned it over to a couple of the other actors in the series. And this 19-year-old actress, Yara Shahidi, had this to say.
Oh, goodness. I stand with Jussie, but more importantly, we don't integrate, we recreate.
Excuse me, we don't what?
We don't integrate, we recreate.
Oh.
Okay. She's cute. Anyway, so I think on balance, probably the wise decision for Jussie to skip out on the NAACP Image Awards and not continue to be the butt of more jokes, particularly when it's Chris Rock who's delivering them.
Yeah, and here's Meta Golding. Are you familiar with her? Okay.
We all love and support Jussie, and we just want this to work out for the best. What's fantastic is that the charges have been dropped.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Well, there's two things.
It was on the red carpet before the event began.
Well, there's two things. I'm sure they got pushback, or she got pushback from whoever she was speaking
right.
with. Two things. One is, no, not everybody does. Did you hear Chris Rock? Number two, the charges weren't dropped. Charges were not dropped, not exonerated. And this is a point that Kim Foxx makes in an op-ed she had in the Tribune with her famous last words. Remember, it was Jesse Jackson to the U.S. Attorney's Office, bring it on.
Right.
It was Rod Blagojevich, press conference to the FBI. I welcome my conversations being taped. And now we have Kim Foxx in that vein. I welcome an outside review of how we handled the Jussie Smollett case. Okay. All right. Good. It sounds like you're getting it, and I hope you really do get it, because the conversation about who should pay shouldn't be about Jussie Smollett, the invoice Jussie Smollett received from the city of Chicago. It should be about Kim Foxx paying for the handling of this case. And in her op-ed, she sort of restates what she said last week in television interviews. Mm-hmm. But here's one thing she said that is in conflict with her first assistant, McGatz, who she turned the case over to when she recused herself, quote unquote.
she really didn't do.
There were specific aspects of the evidence and testimony presented to the office that would have made securing a conviction against Smollett uncertain. That's not what McGatt said. He said the opposite. He said there was no problem with the case, that nothing had changed with respect to the strength of the case prior to this decision being made, and that there was effectively total confidence that a conviction would have been secured. So it just gets more and more interesting.
And then she went on to say, but we can't allow fearmongers to devalue the tremendous progress we've made in the last year. And then she talked about, how since she's sought office, things that she's changed. But who are the fearmongers? I mean, what we're questioning her ability to lead and to be the top attorney for Cook County, and we're fear-mongering?
And
because of all 3,700 cases where the person has filed a false police report and has pled guilty and paid full restitution, that's the difference with this case. He did not plead guilty, and he did not pay what he owes the city of Chicago.
Also, the National Association of District Attorneys, the Illinois Prosecutorial Bar, they're fearmongers, are they? They've been, frankly, as critical as anybody with respect to Fox's office's handling of this case. Max in Irving Park.
Hello?
Hey, Max.
Hey, how's everyone this morning?
Good.
Hello?
Yeah, we're good, Max.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
go ahead.
Well, my first comment is I once represented my brother in court when he was 9 years old because he got sued, and I won, so I have a better record than Kim Foxx. I'm glad that people are finally waking up to how bad of an attorney Kim Foxx is.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to Jussie Smollett, my request is that we just stop talking about it. It is so annoying and so frustrating.
Well, here's the thing. Thanks, Max. First of all, on the first point, Kim Foxx may be looking for representation soon, so you should contact her office. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. In terms of giving up on Jussie Smollett, no. I can't, because of the things that are being said about why we should move on. And it's not about moving on from Jussie Smollett. The whole invoicing and the grandstanding that Rahm is doing with the invoice, that does not compel me. Kim Foxx's handling of this and turning the state's attorney's office into a political operation, that's a problem in a city that has hundreds and hundreds of murders and thousands of shootings every year, doesn't it?
A lot that are unsolved, too. She also went on to say, listen to this, by dropping this, it also creates bandwidth for my office to dedicate more resources to combating not only truly violent crimes, but also opioid crisis, holding big banks accountable for their actions. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
this is all.
Throw in the big banks.
Well, this is all of the Harvey Weinstein, Ilhan Omar. Look, yeah. I understand you're upset, but we have bigger things to do. I understand you're upset with me for harassing those women, but we have to focus on the NRA.
And we have to protect consumers from data breaches. Oh my God, really? Okay.
This is one of the false move on arguments, and I had this exchange. I was on Flannery's show, Fired Up, on Fox Chicago over the weekend with Matt McGill, who used to be a WVON morning show host. And here's the argument that's being made about moving on because they want to focus on Smollett rather than Fox, and don't let him do it.
Is the mayor prepared to send a bill to all the former police officers and current police officers who have cost the city millions and millions of dollars for violence against African Americans? If we're going to start billing people for what we think they owe the city of Chicago, Jussie Smollett falls at the bottom of that list. There's a lot of people in front of him that need to pay the city back.
Was it a hoax or a hate crime?
It looks like a poorly planned hoax. How much do we want to pursue a poorly planned hoax? Really, is this on par with 16 shots and an unarmed kid being shot and killed, or murder or rapists that are in jail in Cook County Jail? This is not on that par. How much time do we want to waste pursuing this? I think the city of Chicago, Cook County, we need to move beyond this. We've got bigger problems in this city, bigger criminals. Let's go down the list of the criminal history of the city of Chicago. Where does this story rank?
Yeah. Should we move on? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Here's the problem I have with that argument, which I'm sure will be obvious to many. Because injustices have been committed in the past, and they have, against black people, and that's what McGill is talking about, we should not be concerned about justice in the present? I don't understand that logic.
Oh,
because there are murderers and rapists out there, we can't also mete out justice in the Jussie Smollett case by getting him, at minimum, to admit what he did for some kind of deal with the state's attorney's office? I just don't understand the logic.
And then there's this. Mark Garagos, Jussie Smollett's lead attorney, said, we didn't approach the state's attorney's office. They approached us.
So all I know is they approached us about dismissing it, and not the other way around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
that piqued my interest. I'm like, oh, okay.
There's a
Why
lot.
were they so antsy to shake this case, Dan?
There's a lot that's curious here, and it has everything to do with Kim Foxx, which is where the focus should be, particularly when you have an argument about Kim Foxx being made like Matt McGill made on Flannery's show this weekend.
We need to reform that office. That's why we elected Kim Foxx. If we're going to talk about credibility, let's go back and look at the history of the state's attorney's office, all the way back to when Mayor Daley, Dick Devine, Anita Alvarez. Let's review some of those decisions before we start casting aspersions.
Kim Foxx.
Absolutely. Reform does not look pretty, so this is what she's doing right now. I'm for it.
This is what reform looks like?
Not business as usual. You know what? Making a tough decision about something that makes no sense at all. Some people were talking about we should have had a special prosecutor. So we're going to spend money on a special prosecutor to prosecute planned hoax. That's really being responsible with government money? No.
So Kim Foxx is still the reformer that she campaigned to be, according to Matt McGill.
Oh, my goodness.
Because she's making the tough decision and she's upsetting people and she's conservative. Because you know how the left loves to conserve resources. They're very frugal with other people's money. And so that's what she's doing in furtherance of increasing the peace in the streets of Chicago. Anybody believe that? Paul in Lake Forest, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. Another great show.
Thank you.
We came up with a slogan for Chicago. It's not the city that works, all that garbage. Chicago is a cesspool of socialist scum.
All right.
That's what Chicago is. Can you explain to me why they're doing this, though, Dan? I've been meaning to ask you this. If you're anybody with money, we're getting off Smollett for a second, why would you stay in this state after what's about to happen here with taxes? Anybody with any brains that has money is not going to stay here. So why are they driving people out? It's intentional. Why are they doing it? We saw what they did at Cubs Park. The government colluded with the Cubs to block their views, knock down the value of the buildings, and then they came in and bought up all the buildings, and then Ron's group bought 3% of the Cubs. Is that what they're planning on doing, or they want to come in and buy up all the good real estate in Chicago? I can't figure out why. Because if you got any money and any brains, you're not staying here.
It's political.
You're not.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Paul. It's not that complicated, I don't think. It's about political power. People just don't understand what their mind's eye is. Political power. So between the hate has no home here, Champagne socialists, and transfer payments, beneficiaries of transfer payments, there's your governing coalition. There's your 50% plus one. So the people who have the means to move and have a center-right or common sense perspective on some of these issues, fiscal and moral, well, they leave, and actually the worse they make it, the better it gets for them, because who's left? North Shore, hate has no home here, housewives, and beneficiaries of transfer payments. They win until the whole thing comes crashing down around it. But they'll be first off the sinking ship, right? It's not that complicated. By the way, how bad is it for Smollett? When you have Clarence Page write an op-ed, Jussie Smollett case shows connected black stars have their privileges too. When you have overplayed your identity politics hand so far that Clarence Page opines against you, a fellow traveler, wow, then you know you've lost the nation.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey guys, good news. The expensive Little Blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And now get your first month's supply for just $5 at 4hims.com/Greg. Hims connects you with real doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. So easy. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to 4hims.com/Greg. That's 4hims.com/Greg.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. See website for full details.
If you haven't seen it yet, you've got to check out the new 8-part series on the History Channel called Jesus, His Life. It's an intimate portrait of the person of Jesus as seen through the eyes of 8 people who knew him best: Joseph, John the Baptist, Mary, Caiaphas, Peter, Pontius Pilate, and others. The series shows Jesus' journey through a complex world of kings, politicians, reformers, and soldiers amid a turbulent power struggle during a time of revolutionary change. The series features commentary from a wide group of biblical scholars. Each episode focuses on the perspective of different biblical characters and how each saw Jesus. Check it out now on the History Channel, Monday night at 7 p.m. and Sunday night at 8 and 9 p.m.
A new poll says more Americans approve of President Trump than they do the big media. That's why millions are tuning in to Newsmax TV, America's new conservative channel. On Newsmax TV, see Bill O'Reilly, Pat Buchanan, Alan Dershowitz, Mike Reagan, and more. Bill O'Reilly's No Spin News Show is on Newsmax TV. Get it on DirecTV Channel 349, Xfinity 1115, Dish 216, UVerse 1220, Fios 615, and Spectrum. Newsmax TV. Real news for real people.
Hey, cybercriminals stole the W-2 forms from my friend's company.
Yeah, scammers impersonate CEOs in email and also launch attacks from compromised accounts.
What if they target us?
Don't worry. We have Barracuda Total Email Protection.
So we're secured?
Yes. Barracuda protects businesses of all sizes with artificial intelligence that blocks spear phishing, account takeover attempts, and business email compromise.
That's a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
To come up with slogans for our Kim Foxx rally. Do you know Reverend Jackson's having one? A counter rally across the street?
10:30 before the 11 o'clock. It's Black Lives Matter and all these organizations, so I'm not surprised that Jussie Jackson will be there too. So yeah, 10:30 and 11. So it should be some spirited discourse there between the two rallies.
Springtime is here, and maybe you're starting to get outside more. Maybe you're playing golf or getting all of that springtime yard work done, and maybe you've noticed the next day that you're not feeling so good, that you're a little more sore than you used to be, or maybe your energy level has been low, or you need to try, and if that's so, then you need to try Balance of Nature. You need your fruits and veggies, and you're not getting them in the fast food drive-through lane, but you can get them in a single capsule from Balance of Nature. We're talking about 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. You hear the testimonials on this air. Let me tell you, they are real. Dr. Douglas Howard, the creator and founder of Balance of Nature, has shared the emails and voicemails with me of real people who've gotten healthy with Balance of Nature. And now I'm taking it too. And here's the deal that we want you to jump on. The price of fruits and vegetables is about to go up. But if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price, I should say, for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. But you've got to use the promo code Chicago when you call. The number 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use the promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Trump cuts off aid to Northern Triangle countries and threatens to close the border. 5:38.
And later, former vice president's bad behavior is catching up with him. Is this his Me Too or her Me Too moment? We'll explain. But first, let's go straight into the newsroom. Welcome back, the one and only Mike Scott. We missed you.
Well, good to be missed, Amy and Dan. 26 degrees. Alarmed by an estimated 100,000 people being taken into custody at the U.S. border with Mexico. President Trump says he may shut it down this week. Kellyanne Conway is telling people to take President Trump's threat seriously.
You're giving those metrics. What he's looking at is that 4,000 migrants apprehended in one day recently. We're on track this month for close to 100,000. We have never seen a surge like this.
During an interview with Fox News Sunday, the White House counselor says it's certainly not a bluff. Beto O'Rourke is officially on the campaign trail for 2020.
I am so glad to be here with you today in my hometown, in my home state, to announce that I'm running to serve you as the next president of the United States of America.
Former Texas congressman kicking off a one-day rally in his home city of El Paso. Former Vice President Joe Biden denying claims of inappropriate conduct at a campaign event in 2014. Biden says in all of his years of campaigning, he's never once, he believes, acted inappropriately.
We also need to have a conversation about powerful men feeling that they have the right to invade a woman's space whenever they'd like.
On CNN State of the Union, former Nevada Assemblywoman Lucy Flores. Taiwan is accusing China of reckless and provocative acts after 2 Chinese fighter jets crossed a maritime border Sunday. A murdered University of South Carolina student is being remembered for the lives she touched. Seymour Josephson says he hopes others can learn from his daughter's death.
I don't want anybody else to ever go through this again. I can't tell you how painful this is.
A candlelight vigil was held Sunday night on campus. 2 U.S. Marine Corps pilots are dead after the helicopter they were flying crashed near Yuma, Arizona. A search resumes this morning for 2 who went missing in the DuPage River in Shorewood. 2 firefighters are hurt battling a blaze on Chicago's west side. Both firefighters fell through a hole in the 3rd floor and fell all the way to the 1st floor. No one is in custody following a deadly mass shooting on Chicago's west side. Timothy Lomax and 4 others, according to police, were shot yesterday while standing on a sidewalk. Lomax died. 4 other victims remain hospitalized. Rangers over the Cubs 11-10. White Sox winners over the Royals 6-3. Blackhawks host the Jets later tonight. The News is a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at Napa Auto Parts stores, get a 5-quart jug of Napa Full Synthetic Oil, plus a Napa Platinum Oil filter for $21.98. Quality parts, helpful people. That is Napa know-how. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up with water, like our client from Mount Prospect.
We decided to refinish our basement and wanted to put in new flooring, but we've always had a seepage problem. I heard Chicagoland Waterproofing on the radio and had to call. Gus came to our home and identified the problem immediately, explained a solution which involved 60 feet of interior trenching along the foundation. His guys were on time, professional, and cleaned up when they were done. Our refinished basement is 100% dry. Dry as a bone. Great experience. In Gus, we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500.
This Friday, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters Friday.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
5:37. Check on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
If you're headed to Midway Airport this morning, expect some congestion around 55th and Cicero. There is a crash at that intersection this morning. southeast of there, south of Mount Carmel, there was a fire on Dorchester in the 6800 blocks south of Marquette. That fire has been extinguished. Edens looks good. Kennedy has largely cleared up after some overnight work outbound. Traffic starting to build a bit on westbound 190 approaching O'Hare. The Eisenhower still looking good. Inbound Stevenson's getting a little bit congested east of Cicero. Inbound Ryan, you've got a 2-minute delay coming into downtown. On Bishop Ford, on a 9-minute delay from 115th to the merge. And that's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, breezy, sun and clouds. High 48 today, currently 26. Your next news is at 6, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. After a week focused on the summary of the Mueller report and his exoneration, in his words, President Trump is back on point. Not that he didn't need to address the Mueller report, but pivoting back to things like the crisis at the border. He signed an executive order declaring a national emergency for a reason. You know what that reason is? There's a national emergency. That's why.
Well, there is. I mean, if you thought the numbers were staggering when February 76,000 people, March they're projecting 95,000 people. I mean, I know today's the first day of April, but they're saying how many people, and 40% of those 95,000 are families.
You know what's fascinating is to read the D.C. press corps coverage of the migrant caravans and the numbers that you're describing. They're reporting on a national emergency while decrying Trump's declaration of a national emergency. I'm having trouble squaring the circle there. New York Times headline this weekend. Spring brings surge of migrants stretching border facilities far beyond capacity. AP, Mexico braces for new caravan of Central American migrants. The local paper in Arizona, the Republic. Border Patrol begins releasing migrant families on the streets of Yuma. U.S. Border Patrol officials in Arizona saying they've started doing that because processing centers can't cope with the large numbers of arriving families and minors. They're not designed to house the current numbers of families and small children we're encountering, said Border Patrol's Yuma sector in a written statement. Due to capacity issues at our stations and the ongoing humanitarian crisis nationwide, Border Patrol has begun identifying detainees for potential release in Yuma with a notice to appear for their immigration hearings. All that's reporting on precisely what Trump is saying, but his declaration of a national emergency and trying to call together funds that would comport with what the statute provides. That's some authoritarian overreach because the Democrats in the House want to sit on their hands and welcome the new constituents they desire, like Beto, Robert Francis Frost, was doing over the weekend in his 14th official announcement for president.
I mean, how many times can you say it?
We are safe, not despite the fact that we are a city of immigrants and asylum seekers. We are safe because we are a city of immigrants and asylum seekers.
So people in this country illegally makes us safe.
That's what he's saying.
Okay. All right. Got it. And just the reporting on our work, too.
Yeah.
Now, AP corrected themselves, I don't think without it admitting what they had written. AP story about O'Rourke's kickoff originally had O'Rourke spoke to the crowd in his native tongue of Spanish.
Well, if a former El Paso one, I'd be very offended by that.
He's born in El Paso. He's fourth generation Irish.
Right.
His native tongue. Now they corrected it, spoke at length in Spanish without, again, noting the error. Yeah. But I mean, it's just, they're so bad. It's so ridiculous.
Beto O'Rourke Garcia?
Well, the positions they're taking, these D.C. press corps outlets, and then the actual reporting they're doing. It's like, yeah, that's our reporting. Okay, now that we're done with that, we can say, look, we reported the facts. Now let's go back to the posturing and preening and, Trump hate regardless of the merits. It's just remarkable. And frankly, to Trump's credit, using a little bit more of the hammer, too, State Department moving to implement Trump's order to cut off funds to El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras in retaliation for the migrant caravans that have left the region for the southern border. And look,
because what are we paying them for?
Well, and Pence efforted to work with those Central American countries, the leadership of those Central American countries. And what do we have? Because, frankly, to some extent, it's not completely their fault because we've got a domestic political situation where we've got one party encouraging the caravans. And so you encourage something, you incentivize something, what do you get more of it?
Well,
and so we're getting more of it.
And Democratic bigwigs like George Soros, who's funding it and helping them along the way to get to the United States of America. But the thing is now, President Trump over the weekend saying again that if things don't improve along Mexico's southern border, that he's going to shut down the U.S.-Mexican border.
We'll keep it closed for a long time. I'm not playing games. Mexico has to stop it. They have people coming right through Mexico.
So whose fault? Is it Mexico's fault? Is it El Salvador's fault? Guatemala's fault? Honduras' fault? I mean, who's...
Congressional Democrats' fault? All of the above. There's a lot of fault to go around. And the fact that we're at this point also includes the Republican Party or elements of the Republican Party for generations as well. Plenty of blame to go around.
I mean, it's so bad that Brownsville, Texas, yesterday, they released 2,000 people, Dan, because they couldn't house. There's no room at the inn.
Same thing going on in Yuma. I mean, look, so
you should see people just running in the streets. It was crazy.
The evasive action that President Trump is taking, shut down the Mexican border, that's not just about the free movement of people. That's also commerce, too. I mean, that's a big decision. That's
$1.7 billion a day.
That's significant impact.
Yeah.
But, there are some things that are bigger, at least initially, than your marginal dollar. Some like border security, like securing your nation, like preventing violent criminals from entering and ejecting those who have been adjudicated to be violent criminals who are here. Is that right? Or is Trump overreaching? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 646-368, turnkey.pro text line. Dennis in Crystal Lake, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Dan, all of these countries are to blame. Who in their right mind is going to put minor children on? I used to train hop when I was a kid. And believe me, when you're on top of that gosh dang thing going, what?
No,
40 miles
Dennis Cook train spotting. Okay, all right, got you. Or Dennis in Crystal Lake.
What I'm saying is why is it Trump's fault for the gosh dang safety of these people? And Mexico's got all this oil. You tell them they can't stop them. I guarantee you, if they tried to settle in Mexico, they'd be really stomped upon. I used to live down there in Rosarito Beach. I couldn't even buy a house.
Why were you living in Mexico? Were you trying to evade authorities here?
Of course. I got to always evade them, Dan.
Did you train spot your way down there?
Yeah, when you were... yeah. Did you? Did you take the train?
Dan, stop asking me about the train.
All right, let me ask you this one more question about the train. Did you have like one of those sticks with a kerchief?
Stick.
Yeah, and like a little
red bandana.
Charlie Chaplin hat. Yeah.
Did you ever see Emperor of the Northwest with Ernest Borgnine and Lee Marvin?
I have seen that.
That is me, Lee Marvin.
You're Lee Marvin. I saw you as more Lee Marvin in The Dirty Dozen, but okay. Thanks for the call, Dennis.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool, too. Thanks a lot, Dan.
All right, see you, Dennis. This is what I'm talking about. We have to keep people like Dennis from Crystal Lake out of this country. They go to Mexico, they can't come back. Dan in Libertyville.
Hello, thanks for taking my call. I've got a plan for Trump. What he needs to do is close the border down, and every single truck that comes in from Mexico with goods, $100 a truck. And take that money and put it towards the wall. Then Trump can say Mexico is paying for the wall.
Well, okay.
That's not going to
happen. All right, thanks for the call, Dan.
$100 toll, no, because, commerce goes both ways, folks. We really can't shut the border down. I mean,
against what's happened. I mean, but
because he did that before. When we were in Mexico and we were driving back, and like, oh my God, are we going to get into our own country? Are we going to have the real Mexican experience of breaking into our own country? I mean, it's pretty scary.
This is one of these national issues that needs to be localized by Republicans. We should be talking about this in the context of municipal elections tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
State elections next March and February. That's who the Democrat socialists are. Who are they? As Trump is cutting off foreign aid to countries that are overwhelming our border security, what's the governor of California doing? And don't think Jelly Belly won't be far behind him.
Kimberly Guilfoyle's ex-husband, what is he doing?
Yeah, Gavin Newsom went to El Salvador.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Is he having the El Salvadorian experience? What was he doing there?
Well, California is committed to lifting up our immigrant communities and understanding the root causes of migration.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to traveling to El Salvador in April to talk with the nation's leaders and activists while deepening the bond between our families and communities. Yeah, it's a real mystery why people would flee these failed banana republics to try to make their way to America. Boy, who can crack the code here? But that just tells you everything you need to know.
Right.
It tells you everything you need to know. That this needs to be, this jacket needs to be worn by Democrat socialists at every level because they're all part of it. All the sanctuary city, county, state promoters, including Republicans, some Republicans here, need to wear the jacket for this. This is the mentality that gets you the insanity you're seeing at the national level. Joe in Hoffman Estates.
Hey, good morning, guys. I have Yahoo email, and I've been with them for a long time, and I'll tell you, that is a liberal search engine, to say the least, if you read their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to the comments section from people from across the country commenting on different stories about what the liberals are talking about, it's about 10-1 on our side as far as people saying that they're against this illegal invasion and all different kinds of things. This socialism thing isn't going to fly at all. You could just tell.
Thanks for the call, Joe. Well, this is, to your point, this is exactly why the case needs to be prosecuted relentlessly at every level. Make the people who are taking these positions and putting the lives of American families as well as migrant families at risk, make them wear the jacket for the nonsense they are spewing. John in Lombard.
Yeah, we have this crisis at the border. It's out of control. It's an invasion. Isn't this what the well-regulated militia is for? We have one.
Well,
I don't think it's time.
Thanks for the call, John.
Militia?
Well, you've had military scramble
Right.
to the border.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But
Adam Kinzinger went there for a few weeks.
Okay.
With
But
the
if it's
National Guard.
resources, right, resources to the border, the necessary resources and the legal regime, so to do things expeditiously like adjudicate asylum cases and working with other countries to stop the flow of caravans. Yeah. All of the above. All of the above. And being serious with the first order priority of, as I said, removing, well, we talked about this last week, removing how many? 600,000 people who against whom final deportation orders have been entered. People, and included, and among them, but also outside of that universe, people who've been convicted of a violent crime and they're in this country illegally, out. Devote the resources necessary. We got a big operation in D.C. I don't know if you've heard. The resources are there. It's a political will problem. Bob in Tampa, Florida. Oh, Bob. Yeah, got too late. He's probably going to the beach.
Or golfing.
Candace in Mount
Fishing.
Pleasant.
Hi. Dan, ever since you said that, I've been pressing that on Twitter, getting no responses whatsoever. I mean, I don't understand. These GOP, this is a great time for people in the GOP to go into the black neighborhoods and say, do you like this? Is this what you voted for? And start asking people these hard questions, because I don't understand, like, it's always these states where nobody wants to live, like Alaska and Maine. Those are like the rhinos who are against, the border. Everybody knows this is like the biggest subject. Over 70% poll consistently that illegal immigration is the number one thing to them.
Well, that's right. Thanks for the call, Candace. And here's the problem that some Republicans have. They're more interested in, the Chamber of Commerce's money and endorsement than they are in where the supermajority of the population is. And those Republicans need to be turned out, just like the Democrat socialists.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Famous conservative quotes presented by Automated Systems.
Thomas Sowell said, "A consequence of entitlements is people who contribute nothing to society feel they're owed something for being nice and gracing us with their presence."
Manufacturing companies, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. Automated Systems is a software and systems integration company that specializes in companies that are required to meet FDA compliance requirements. Automated Systems will create a custom solution for your business that will make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. From Fortune 500 to startup, ASI delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI, 844-HIRE-ASI, or online at hireasi.com.
Hey, do you want your basement to be dry most of the time? If so, Permaseal is not the company for you. Permaseal hears story after story of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. I wonder who says that. Well, you don't want your living room or bedroom getting wet, do you? Then why do you settle with a wet basement? For over 40 years, the Permaseal team believes your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Roy Spencer started Permaseal back in 1979, and it's still a local Chicagoland family-owned business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Because we have an office pool on the brackets NCAA tournament. I'm still in second place. None of us picked. We were all. Mike had Michigan. I had Duke, Gonzaga, Duke.
It's like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas. He's gone. And there's nothing you can do about it. Sad. I want to tell you about a great new movie that's coming out in theaters in a couple of weeks. It's called Best of Enemies. It stars Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell and Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson. She won an NAACP Image Award on Saturday night for Empire. Jussie Smollett did not. The movie tells the true story of the relationship between Ann Atwater and C.P. Ellis in East Durham, North Carolina in 1971. At that time, the schools in East Durham were still segregated, and when a fire burned down a black neighborhood school, the city council refused to allow black students to attend a local white school. The issue divided the community and put Atwater, an African-American single mom, and Ellis, an exalted cyclops of the KKK, into the unlikely situation of having to resolve this hotly contested issue for their community. It's a powerful story of community, identity, and the search for common ground against incredible odds. Best of Enemies will be out in theaters Friday, April 5th, this Friday. And we're hosting a free movie screening on Wednesday, April 3rd, this Wednesday in Schaumburg. Learn more at 560answer.com and go there to sign up to get your free tickets.
My name is David Hochberg of Team Hochberg. This email is from Debbie. Quote, thank you for all your help, patience, caring, and understanding refinancing my home. Team Hochberg made the transaction stress-free, and I enjoyed working with everyone. From getting a loan started to receiving weekly updates through the closing agent, who explained all the closing documents and closed my loan at a time which best fit my hectic schedule. I'll highly recommend Team Hochberg to everyone I know looking for a mortgage. I'm so grateful I called Team Hochberg after hearing one of your radio ads. Team Hochberg is truly the best. If you're interested in purchasing a new home or refinancing your existing home and would like to receive the same level of service Debbie received, give us a call now at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah. That goes out to Joe Biden, Lucy Flores. We'll talk to her. We'll talk about her and him at 6:06.
Ooh, but first, let's head straight into the newsroom and catch up on the latest news from here at home and around the world. I saw you dancing there.
I'm not in a dancing mood today.
I know. Are you got a cold, right?
No, I'm dealing with being 55 and having adult onset allergies. It sucks.
You know what I have for that?
What's that?
Some balance in nature. Come on, get yourself some
Let me tell you about
fruits and
something
veggies.
that works here in a minute.
Okay.
Authorities are searching for two people in the DuPage River this morning. Two Chicago firefighters hurt while battling a West Side blaze. We'll get an update on that developing story. And rallies in support of Kim Foxx today. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
President Trump could close border ports of entry this week. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It certainly isn't a bluff. You can take the president seriously.
Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, citing a surge of illegal immigrants crossing the border recently and being apprehended. The president tweeted last night, Mexico is doing nothing, and Democrats are allowing what he called a ridiculous asylum system with major loopholes. But Democratic Congressman Tom Suozzi tells Fox the president's bluster won't do anything.
Let's work together, Democrats and Republicans. There are a lot of us who want to do it, to work together to actually address this problem once and for all.
Former Vice President Biden is defending himself after a former Nevada politician he campaigned for says he went too far, kissing her in the back of the head back in 2014. Lucy Flores told CNN State of the Union,
never do I claim that that rises to the level of a sexual assault or anything of that nature. What I am saying is that it's completely inappropriate.
Biden, who might run for president, says he doesn't believe he's ever acted inappropriately with women.
As for Biden's potential competition, nearly every other Democratic candidate has weighed in on the allegation, saying they believe Lucy Flores. And several are also suggesting that Biden will have to answer for this allegation as well as many others if he decides to enter the race.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney, a Grammy-nominated rapper murdered in South Los Angeles. Nipsey Hussle shot outside a clothing store he owns. Police believe it could be gang-related. Hussle was in a gang as a teen, but this man says he had since given back to his community.
He had me bring my daughter up here to talk with her so she could model for his company. That's how much he cared about me and my family.
Michael Avenatti, the lawyer, is going to be back in court today, this time in California, to face charges of bank and wire fraud. He has also been charged in a case in New York. This is Fox News.
Fair skies, 26 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A search resumes later this morning for two who went missing in the DuPage River in Shorewood. A woman saw a man in the water and jumped in to try and help him. Both are presumed dead. Two firefighters are hurt battling a blaze on Chicago's west side. Authorities say the firefighters fell through a hole while battling the blaze last night in a 3-story apartment building. Both remain hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. The Reverend Jesse Jackson and a few other clergy members will gather today to try to rally support for Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx after she faces criticism over the decision to drop charges in the Jussie Smollett case. 16-year-old faces a reckless homicide charge in a crash They killed an off-duty Cook County Sheriff's deputy over the weekend in Chicago Ridge. The team was ordered held yesterday in juvenile custody until at least Friday. And funeral arrangements are set for Trooper Brooke Jones Story, who was killed Thursday making a traffic stop near Rockford. Visitation for the former Illinois State Trooper takes place tomorrow, 4 to 8 p.m. at Warren High School. Meantime, the death of Trooper Gerald Ellis is it continues to be investigated. He was on duty in his squad car early yesterday when his vehicle was struck by a wrong-way driver on I-94 in Green Oaks. Ellis was an 11-year ISP veteran. Well, look who's coming to Chicago. Billionaire businessman Mark Cuban will speak at a suburban college this spring as part of a speaker series that raises money for scholarships. Cuban will speak at Judson University on May 16. Rangers beat the Cubs 11-10. White Sox 6-3 winners over the Royals. Blackhawks battle the Jets in a playoff critical contest later on tonight. The news is a service of Dairy Queen. Your favorite chicken strips got just a little sweet BFF. Introducing the new DQ Chicken and Waffles basket. A next-level combo of chicken strips, Belgian waffle fries, and syrup. Only at DQ. Happy. Tastes good. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
It's Health Quest Radio, Chicagoland's longest-running health, news, and science show with your host, Dr. David Kolbaba.
You know, people who age slower live longer. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. We can compare your biologic age with your chronologic age to determine how fast you're aging. Just a few seconds to safely scan for those advanced glycation end products that cause premature aging. And I'll pay for your first assessment. That's right, your first one is free. Then we'll give you a few things to do and retest in 60 days. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. But you gotta call our Health Quest radio hotline at 800-794-1855. That's 800-794-1855. First one free if you make that call right now. Some conditions and restrictions do apply. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. Call 800-794-1855. It's Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
What is certainty? Certainty is the passionate commitment to fulfill every promise. Certainty is 4imprint, a caring, trusted team of promotional product experts, minding every detail to ensure your logo will look perfect on everything from apparel, drinkware to trade show traffic stoppers, and hot tech, all delivered on time, every time, with the promise of your satisfaction guaranteed. So, what does certainty bring? Promotional items exceeding expectations, a buzz of excitement for your team and your customers, a pep in your step, a fist pump, a whoop, a tingle, a grin, a laugh, or even one quiet word that no one will ever hear. Yes! Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com. That's the number 4imprint.com. 4imprint. For certain.
Staples has the supplies you need to run your business like a boss. Now save up to 20% on the all-new HP Office Jet Pro printers. They're smart, mobile, and secure. Plus, save up to $50 more in store when you trade in your old printer. Ends 5/4/19. See store or staples.com/HP Office Jet Pro. Staples.
It is 6:07. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Traffic on northbound Cicero Avenue at Midway is jammed. From 59th to 55th, there's a 4-car crash at 55th and Cicero. The Edens Expressway looks good at this hour. Kennedy inbound, it's tight Canfield to Nagel. 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 27, delays starting around Foster. And westbound 190 has heavy traffic, Kennedy to Mannheim. Inbound Eisenhower, slow pocket starting around 25th Avenue. 32 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 29. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to the drive. The Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 is 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop 423, eastbound Reagan Tollway tight, 22nd to York. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and meteorologist Steve Williams.
It'll be breezy today with sunshine and a few clouds. The high today near 50. Considerable cloudiness for tonight, low 37. A blend of sun and clouds, a breezy day tomorrow, an afternoon shower in spots. The high tomorrow, 52. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 26 at O'Hare, 28 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 6:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. That's exactly what Lucy Flores, a former Nevada legislator and lieutenant governor candidate, said over the weekend about Vice President Joe Biden in town for a campaign stop for Flores and other Democrats in Nevada.
Back in 2014, I believe it was.
Yeah, she said to herself in this op-ed that she wrote, and then she talked about it, but this is my favorite line. Why is the Vice President of the United States touching me?
Well, he's a little bit of a groper. I mean, he's like the creepy uncle who thinks he could just invade your personal space, smell your hair, kiss you on the head. It's, rub your shoulders.
He's friendly is what you're saying.
He's very gregarious. I mean, that's his shtick. And she, she's been affected by this, Dan.
Well, it happened also suddenly. Anyone who's ever been at a rally recognizes that there is just chaos. There's a lot of energy, that everyone's running back and forth. Eva Longoria was there. We were all lined up next to the stage. Eva was in front of me. Joe Biden was behind me. I'm kind of preparing myself to give these remarks. It's the very last days before the election. And very unexpectedly and out of nowhere, I feel Joe Biden put his hands on my shoulders, get up very close to me from behind, lean in, smell my hair, and then plant a slow kiss on the top of my head.
It's tender.
And
how romantic.
That in and of itself might not sound like it's a very serious thing. That in and of itself might sound like it was innocent and well-intentioned. But in the context of it, as a person that had absolutely no relationship with him afterwards, as a candidate who was preparing to make my case for why I should be elected the second in command of that state, to have the vice president of the United States do that to me so unexpectedly and just kind of out of nowhere, it was just shocking.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Is Joe Biden's campaign done, and should it be? Go ahead.
They released a statement he did, Biden.
Oh, no, wait. You got to have Chris Wallace read it. It's so much better when Chris Wallace reads it because he's got that sexy voice.
Oh, yeah.
He's very, very sultry. Chris Wallace, he got that came over the transom just as he was broadcasting Fox News Sunday. Chris Wallace reading the Biden statement.
At that point, it was.
From former Vice President Biden. He says, in my many years on the campaign trail and in public life, I have offered countless handshakes, hugs, expressions of affection, support, and comfort, and not once, never, did I believe I acted inappropriately. If it is suggested I did so, I will listen respectfully, but it was never my intention.
But the problem is, remember during the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, the woman is always to be believed. He was pounding that home, hitting that home every day. So she's to be believed, right?
Well, and also, too, boy, the timing couldn't be worse because he was just on his apology tour for Clarence Thomas being confirmed to the Supreme Court, relitigating the Clarence Thomas, Anita Hill saga and decrying white man culture with such passion. It's just difficult time for Biden. I wonder if Jill Biden also thinks that. Why is the Vice President of the United States touching me? Every night, probably. Here's the thing.
Yes.
Joe Biden, not new. As Kellyanne Conway. This is great. This is such a fascinating thing to say. It's just nobody's paid any attention to creepy Uncle Joe. But as Kellyanne Conway said, there's plenty of material out there.
But all of these post-Me Too allegations and insinuations really don't comport with probably Joe Biden's conduct over the years. If anybody just types in creepy Uncle Joe videos, you come up with a treasure trove.
It's so
It's a remarkable statement.
But I mean, why, this Flores woman, she's a Bernie Sanders supporter. She also went to a rally for Beto. Why come forward now?
Part of the reason why I decided to finally say something is because those behaviors were not being taken very seriously. They were not being considered from the perspective of the woman on the other side of that power dynamic, on the side of on the receiving end. And I just can't imagine that there was never a situation where someone said to him, Vice President, Mr. Vice President, you probably should stop doing that. You should probably stop touching women in that way. You should probably keep your hands to yourself.
Do you think if he had a nickel for every woman who asked themselves the question, why is the Vice President of the United States touching me, he could fund his campaign just on those dollars?
Probably could. It's just amazing, though, the Democratic challengers, what they're saying. Here's Julian Castro, who looks like an alien to me.
We need to live in a nation where people can hear her truth.
Hear her. Like, she's been so victimized. I mean, these are one of those Me Too, maybe moments. I don't know. But Hickenlooper, who took his mom to a porno, weighed in.
I think that's why we have an election. That's that process. But certainly it's very disconcerting, and I think that, again, women have to be heard, and we should start by believing them.
And Pocahontas.
I believe Lucy Flores, and Joe Biden needs to give an answer.
I think Chief Warren there is just a little bit envious that she never got the Biden treatment.
She didn't.
She didn't rate to
What
get
about
the kiss on the back of the neck. Tender.
And they
loving.
were all asked to. Oh, stop! Creeping me out. They were all asked, should he just quit right now and not run? And Bernie Sanders weighed in.
Well, I think that's a decision for the vice president to make. I'm not sure that one incident alone disqualifies anybody, but her point is absolutely right. This is an issue not just the Democrats or Republicans. The entire country has got to take seriously.
The entire country.
If only Comrade Sanders understood the YouTube, he could see more examples of Joe Biden's handiness and creepiness. Here's the thing. I have to tell you, this statement of Julian Castro's, women must be heard, is so condescending. It's so ridiculous. Julian Castro is the protector of women. Julian Castro is going to make sure women's voices are heard and their truth is considered.
Our voices are heard just fine.
That's the whole point. You don't need any conduit.
Yeah.
Oh, finally, because one of these socialists is going to be a nominee for president, women are going to speak and be heard. It's just absurd. The quality, the intellectual quality. Forget the sort of like is it too uncivil? The intellectual quality of our discourse is what we should worry about, because you have people listen to that sentimental codswallop from Julian Castro and like, oh gosh, he's so in touch. He's not.
He's grasping at straws.
He's
such a he doesn't stand a chance in HE double hockey sticks.
He is a demagogue and a eunuch. He's pathetic, and he should be viewed that way, just as Joe Biden should be viewed that way for other reasons.
So do you think he's not going to run now? Because he's supposed to make the big announcement in 2 weeks.
I think Kyle Smith has a good point writing in National Review about why Joe Biden is done. The Democratic Party's public relations arm, a.k.a. the D.C. Press Corps, never before had any incentive to hold up Biden to scrutiny. Why bother? When he became the Veep, any attack on Biden risked looking like casting aspersions on the man who made him his number two, and the media couldn't countenance any naysaying about the judgment of the precious. For the next few months, though, we're in an amusing interstitial period when the media actually has a reason to attack their fellow Democrats. Any hacks out there think the party can do better than Biden or Sanders or Warren or Harris can rip into their disfavored candidates in order to give an assist to their preferred picks. So it's sort of open season, which is what the primary provides, and Biden is going to feel it. Something else in terms of this not being a one-day story could have a cascading effect that does force him out of the race. University of Pennsylvania. Joe Biden is the namesake of University of Pennsylvania's Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement. And over at the College Fix, they point out that last year, Penn scrubbed a major donor's name from campus after several women accused him of sexual harassment. So what are they going to do about the Biden Center on the campus of Penn? Yeah, I don't think this is going to turn out well for Biden. I think he was sort of a candidate of a bygone era anyway, despite, he's leading in the national polls. Doesn't mean anything. Again, irresponsible, uncontextual, inconsequential reporting by the D.C. Press Corps. But I never saw him as having a path to the nomination. I don't think that's where the party is. And I know there are moderate Democrats out there who hope that Ocasio-Cortez represents 5% of the party. Well, you can hope, but that's not the case. And this, really, I don't see, to the extent it's extended for any number of days right now in this period where everybody is announcing, doing their forums, putting together their number of donors and amount donated for the first filing period to show. I think Biden, his window starts to close rapidly. I think he's done.
I don't like nobody touching me. Now, any of you homos touch me, and I'll kill you.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. If you need windows, call the exterior experts.
Call Crumweedy.
Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crumweedy. Well, they run a third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland exteriors now since 1953. And for them, it's all about trust, and they truly share your values. Why windows from Crumweedy? Now, Crumweedy windows are not offered anywhere else in Chicagoland. They are exclusive, and that's why they can offer a lifetime material and labor installation guarantee. A lifetime. That's a great investment for your home. Windows from Crumweedy are Energy Star rated, unlike most other windows. Also, the vinyl windows are 100% virgin vinyl. You're getting quality windows with a lifetime material and labor installation. Now, if your windows are needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. The name is not easy to spell. Just remember this. WindowsAreNeedy.com. WindowsAreNeedy.com.
Hey, before you buy a new expensive mattress, I urge you to consider the MyPillow mattress topper. It's a lot less expensive and will completely revitalize your mattress. I have one and frankly don't know if I like my pillow or MyPillow mattress topper more. It's that good, and you'll get the best sleep of your life. And order now and get 30% off plus 2 free standard MyPillows. The exclusive 3-layer design includes MyPillow foam for support, transitional foam to help relieve pressure points, and an ultra-soft patented temperature-regulating cover that's washable and dryable. Love that. Plus Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need, sleep better, and save a lot of money. Save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper when you use promo code Amy. Plus, you'll receive 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. So visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
This Friday, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get in my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters Friday.
Springtime is here, and maybe you're starting to get outside more, play some golf, getting the springtime yard work done, and maybe you've noticed the next day that you're not feeling so good, that you're a little sore, more sore than you're used to, or maybe your energy level has been low. You need to try Balance of Nature. You need your fruits and veggies, and you're not getting them in the fast food drive-through lane, folks, but you can get them in a single capsule from Balance of Nature. We're talking about 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. You hear the testimonials on the air here, and let me tell you, they are all real. Dr. Douglas Howard, the creator of Balance of Nature, has shared the emails, played some voicemails of real people who've gotten healthy with Balance of Nature. Here's a deal that you might want to jump on. You know, the price of fruits and vegetables is going up. But if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. But you've got to use the promo code Chicago when you call. 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use the promo code Chicago.
Autism One helps children with autism get better. Yes, children with autism get better. Many lose their diagnosis. Join us Wednesday, May 22nd through Sunday, May 26th at the Autism One Conference in Chicago to learn how you can help recover your child. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will deliver the keynote and will be joined by over 140 of the leading autism doctors, scientists, and researchers from around the world. Learn more at autismone.org, autismone.org.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and you are not going to read a more poorly written, ridiculous op-ed than this offering in the New York Times over the weekend. I broke up with her because she's white.
Oh, boy.
You want to...
White guilt, all right.
Except he's not white guilt because he's not white.
Oh, he's not.
She's white. He's Dominican. Well, Dominican and Colombian. Dad Dominican, mom Colombian. But he's, you know, a brown person.
Okay.
I mean, this is... I think he's in his early 30s. This is a real peek into the muddled mess between the ears of so many woke millennials. I mean, you really got to read this. Just, it's stunning.
Was it in the New York Times, you said?
Yeah. My pops would explain that as a young man in the Dominican Republic, you had to work hard perfecting yourself, preparing your mask, so that when a young European or American woman came through, she might choose you, as he would put it, might take you home with her like that was your only way out. So early on, I learned how important it was to be, quote-unquote, chosen, selected. Selected by whom became and remains my dilemma. I woke up one day, took a deep breath, looked at my white girlfriend and thought, I don't think I can date white women anymore. I'm sure the white women are all broken up about it. The real reason
Come back.
Yeah, we miss you.
Don't leave us, please.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong?
I'll change.
There you go. That's the best one. I'll change. Yeah, right.
The real reason I think I can no longer date white women is because of today's hashtag woke society. There is mad pressure to be hashtag woke, to be aware of the implications of whom you're attracted to and why, which means that in the eyes of others, the color of women I date is a big deal, like I'm the problem, like I'm betraying my people if I date white women.
He's racist.
Well, worse than that,
and clueless, and a mimbo.
He's spineless and pathetic, and he's living his life in the minds of other people, which is being a slave to the judgment of other people.
It's no way to live, Dan.
He started reading James Baldwin, Ta-Nehisi Coates. Oh, there's the problem. I think I've put my finger on it.
Who?
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh.
Looking for guidance, a roadmap, help on what it means to be a brown man in the world. Yes, our bodies have been colonized. Yes, I am a child of blackness. Yes, the black body has done more for society than it has gotten in return. Yes, society seems to want to embrace a lot of things associated with blackness without actually being black. Hey. And it's just on and on. So here I stand trying to be woke and not dating white women, feeling kind of bad about that because I'm definitely dating and thinking about, it's just like an entry in a Hello Kitty diary. And then the decision to no longer date white men may not be my own. That any decision to choose a side doesn't help the whole hashtag woke thing because how we will solve everything if it just separate nicely. Also, a lot of white women are really cool. Obviously, white women are cool. All women are cool. Cool is such a simple word. Not the word I want to be using right now. I don't just mean cool. Honestly, he's like a teenage fracking girl. This is a 30-year-old man. This is the problem.
High school yearbook entry, really.
You got to read this Christopher Rivas. I broke up with her because she's white. I'll tweet it out just for the shock and entertainment value, I guess. But it is an insight into how identity politics poisons an otherwise fertile mind. Because that's what happened to Christopher Rivas. That should be the response.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right. Antidote to the poisoning of identity politics comes in the form of our next guest at 6:36. Diamond and Silk, join us.
Oh, yeah. And tomorrow is Election Day, and today demonstrations for and against Kim Foxx. What should our sign say? But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Skies are fair. We have 26 degrees at 6:29 on AM 560. The Answer. Search resumes later this morning for two who went missing on the DuPage River in Shorewood. Police say a man went into the water at Hamel Woods last night. A woman saw the man in the water and jumped in to try to help. Both are presumed dead. Former Vice President Joe Biden denies he acted inappropriately at a 2014 campaign event. Biden says he doesn't recall the accusations made by Nevada Democrat Lucy Flores the same way she does. But Biden says now is an important time when women can and should relate experiences, and men should pay attention. Minnesota presidential candidate and Senator Amy Klobuchar is one woman who is backing up Flores.
I have no reason not to believe her.
Klobuchar, who is seeking the Democrat nomination on ABC's This Week. President Trump is making more threats to shut down the southern border.
You're giving those metrics. What he's looking at is that 4,000 migrants apprehended in one day recently. We're on track this month for close to 100,000. We have never seen a surge like this.
Conway during an interview on Fox News Sunday. Online childcare marketplace Care.com is cutting its daycare listings in half. The website confirming it took down more than 45,000 listings after the Wall Street Journal found that hundreds of listings were not licensed by states as they had claimed. 2 firefighters are hurt after battling a fire on Chicago's west side. The blaze broke out last night in a 3-story apartment building in the first block of South Albany Avenue. No one is in custody following a deadly mass shooting on Chicago's west side. Timothy Lomax, according to police, and 4 others were shot early yesterday. Lomax died at a nearby hospital. Forecasters say there's plenty of major flooding on the way for the state of Illinois along the entire length of the Mississippi River, all the way from the Quad Cities to St. Louis. Some forecasters say it will get worse before it gets better in mid-April. Rangers beat the Cubs 11-10. White Sox over KC's 6-3. Blackhawks host the Jets later on tonight. The News is a service of Staples. Trust the pros at Staples to print whatever your business needs, like color presentations, brochures, and banners. And right now, earn 20% back in rewards on your color printing. N6/22/19 in-store only. Exclusions apply. See staples.com/20back for details. Staples. 6:33. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher likes to watch the Democrats scramble.
Isn't it fascinating to watch the Democrats flailing? They are literally flailing away right now. Let's lower the voting age to 16. Let's get rid of the Electoral College. Third trimester abortions just A-OK with me, says Beto O'Rourke. I mean, it's one thing after another.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Improving your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at the Players Sports Center in Naperville with free admission and free parking. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home inside and out. This year's show is larger than ever, featuring experts in kitchens and baths, windows and siding, landscaping, lawn and tree care, flooring, painting, heating and air, and even solar power and green energy systems. Plus, enjoy the live cooking shows, free seminars, and exciting demonstrations, and save big on quality indoor and outdoor furniture and accessories, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at the Players Sports Center on Quincy Avenue, just off Ogden in Naperville, with free admission and free parking. For details, visit foxvalleyhomeshow.com. That's foxvalleyhomeshow.com. Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
It is 6:35. Let's get a check on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
We have two fires going in the southwest suburbs. There's one in Worth, which has southbound Ridgeland closed between Wood Avenue and Holme Avenue. In Palos Heights, there's a fire on Ridgeland, not far from Calsag Road. Eden's inbound delays start at Peterson, 22 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 26 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 32. Westbound 190 has delays, Kennedy to Manheim. The Eisenhower's 36 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 45 minutes, 355 to drive. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 20 minutes, I-80 to Merge. Eastbound Reagan Tollway has roadwork delays, 83 to York. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Breezy day ahead, sun and clouds, and a high of 48. Currently, we have 26. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
See Dennis Prager at Cigar Night on Thursday, May 16th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Tickets on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar.
Dan and Amy are working on our slogans for the signage for the the rallies this morning outside the Cook County State's Attorney's office.
Which one are you going to go to?
I'm going to both.
For or against Kim Foxx rally?
Well, the 10:30 a.m. rally, that's like Black Lives Matter, Jesse Jackson, all these other groups to protest, like the police protesting the protest of Kim Foxx. Maybe there'll be a third, but like somebody to protest the protesters of the protesters.
Maybe
we'll
I can lead that one, the protesting of the protesters.
All right, the leader in the clubhouse, just to get your thinking caps on, help us with this. The leader in the clubhouse is right now is replace Kim Foxx with this Fox, with an arrow pointing down to me, right? Replace Kim Foxx with this Fox, me.
Because you're so hot.
That's right. Fox. Yeah. See what we did?
I'll tweet that
See
out.
what we did there?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the leader in the clubhouse. To see if you can beat that. We'll take calls and texts all morning on that topic. Now, speaking of Jussie Smollett, I stopped watching Saturday Night Live when Phil Hartman did. Okay. And may he rest in peace. And so I just don't know if they're not funny when it comes to satiring a fellow traveler like Jussie Smollett, or if they're just not funny in general. They're just not good at being funny anymore. I don't know which it is, but you listen to this Smollett skit they did,
it's funny.
and you decide. Amy thinks it's funny. I don't.
I'm so sorry I'm late. Jussie?
Oh, my God, are you okay?
Guys, you are not going to believe what just happened to me.
Not again. Really, man?
No, I know what you're thinking, but it's not that. Okay, so what is it? I got attacked again.
That's exactly what we were thinking, Jussie.
Oh, okay, good. So you believe me?
No.
What is wrong with you, man?
I just told you I was attacked.
He meant mentally, Jussie. Mr. Daniels, can I have a word with my client for a second?
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay. Jussie.
Don't worry, I got some hits in, too. I'm still the gay Tupac.
Okay, no, nobody knows what that means. So you can see why this story is a little hard to believe, right?
Great. My own manager doesn't believe me. Wait, what the?
What is that?
I don't know. I think it's a bag of clues?
No, Jussie, please, don't.
Hang on. Look, guys. The killer, he left me a bunch of clues.
What killer?
You're still alive, Jussie.
It's only because I fought back, because I'm the gay Mike Tyson.
You see what we mean, Lee? We can't keep this guy around.
Wait, let's just see what's in here first, okay? Crest white strips. Whoa, what do you think that means?
I don't know. Maybe it's because you're black.
Yo, you think it's racial? Damn.
Oh, Jussie, please, just stop.
There's more. A K? Another K? 3 Ks? Like, what do you think that means?
It's probably the Ku Klux Klan, Jussie.
Really? I thought that was a myth. Jussie. Hang on, there's more stuff. Oh, it's a receipt. I need that. Car keys, definitely need those. Oh, a Teletubby? And it's the gay one.
Okay. I mean, really? That's terrible.
It was funny.
Terrible. All right, let's adjudicate this. People who have a good sense of humor. Diamond and Silk, they're the hosts of The Viewer's View. Yay. They're the stars of the documentary Dummycrats. Also, you get their podcasts on Fox Nation. Diamond and Silk, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right, so was that Saturday Night Live skit funny or not funny?
Okay, I saw it. It was a little funny. He came back in there
humor in it,
because
yeah.
he had been attacked. He claimed to have been attacked again. So I thought it was a little funny. But, you know, what I also think is funny is the fact that the charges was dropped. And what we're trying to figure out now is who it's got to be a high-profile person that was the mastermind behind all of the shenanigans. And when you look at Kim Foxx, they can say all day that she's not tied to the Obamas, but it has been alleged that her husband, Kelly Fox, you know, knows some people that's tied to the Obamas. So we believe that, and this is our opinion, that she knows the Obamas. I'm looking at this here. Who was this here? This top aide that contacted her. Who did she contact her on behalf of? Because I don't want to hear nothing about, well, I'm doing this for the family. And then we thought that Kim Foxx had recused herself, only to find out that she really didn't recuse herself. That let us know that somebody very big is tied to all of this shenanigans. And this was supposed to destroy our country up under this President Trump's administration is what this was supposed to do. And it just didn't work.
Well, we had the brothers who helped stage this attack who got paid by Jussie Smollett. They were on, their attorney was on, and she said Abel, the bigger guy of the two, actually held the rope and the bleach and yelled, "This is MAGA country. This is MAGA country." I mean, it's so staged and ridiculous.
Is that the...
No,
well,
I'm not kidding.
Okay, well, you know now they're saying that they were dressed in whiteface.
Yeah, which they laughed. Those two brothers, they haven't laughed at all, and their attorney told us exclusively here that they broke out laughing when they heard that. He thought that they actually put on white makeup and then put on the black masks over themselves.
Yeah,
Did you guys ever believe this story, even when you heard it from the first time?
No. And let me tell you what. Before we even talked about it, Jussie Smollett had already blocked us on Twitter.
Really?
So I knew something was up then. And so that's when we really started doing really thorough research. And I'm like, no, something's not right about this.
Yeah, something
you
smells
mean
fishy.
zero below, the temperature had dropped almost 0 degrees, and you telling me two white men out and about in Chicago with some red caps on, some bleach and a rope? See, if Jussie Smollett wanted to get beat up, all he had to do was walk in one of the hoods and roll up on somebody. Somebody would have just beat him for free.
That's right.
Instead of him paying somebody like that.
Well, that's why.
But yeah, we knew it was a fake hate hoax. We knew what he was doing. You know, he's a very hateful and arrogant guy. And then when the charges was dropped, how he came out and said that basically he never lied. He's always been truthful. No, you lying about something. Now, you may feel like you vindicated in your own head, but based on public opinion, you are guilty as hell.
And that's why I thought Jussie Smollett's skit was a lot funnier than Saturday Night Live's skit of Jussie Smollett. That's just me, though. Different sense of humor.
Well, yeah.
I wanted to get on to more substantive topics of a national security import, and that's President Trump announcing over the weekend a couple of things. One, cutting off funding to Northern Triangle countries, foreign aid, because of their inability to help stop these migrant caravans from moving towards the southern border. And two, threatening to shut down the Mexican border altogether if there's not movement in the direction of the provision of resources to secure that border.
Look, I've always said I think he should shut down the border.
That's right.
You have people flocking to our country. A lot of these countries we send billions in aid to, but they can't keep their people in their country. If these people want rights, I think they should fight for those rights in their country. It's not fair that those countries take our money, but then their citizens flock to our country because they can't obtain any type of dream and they're living nightmares over there. So I think that he should shut down the border. I've never had a problem with that. Shut it down until these countries get it together.
That's right.
We cannot have people flowing into our country. We don't know these people. Our facilities are filled to capacity where we have to release thousands in our population, and we don't know these people.
That's right.
We don't know if we are releasing an MS game member, somebody with a deadly disease or anything that will affect the citizens.
That's right.
So shut it down.
But see, if you have a pipe that busts in your house or you have a rush of water rushing into your house, what you going to do? You're going to shut down the plumbing, aren't you? You're not going to keep it running to try to fix the problem. It's time to shut down the problem, which is going on at the border, until the problem gets fixed.
And there is a humanitarian crisis going on. When you have that influx of people, that many people coming up in here, and you don't have anywhere to house these people or put these people, that's a crisis.
That's right.
And I can't believe our Congress don't understand that. They don't want to fix the problem. But let me tell you why they don't want to fix the problem. Because somebody is getting a kickback paddywhack from all this. See, whenever there's something simple that needs to be fixed and they don't want to fix it, somebody is getting paid for all of this, the shenanigans and this crazy, the crisis to happen. This is an easy fix. But these members of Congress have been up there for years. Just look at that. They've been up there for years and they don't want to fix this border situation. I don't care what side of the aisle you on. Even Democrats is like, wait a minute. Something needs to be, a wall need to go up or shut the border down.
That's right.
But shutting the border down, I mean, that will cost billions of dollars. Well, $1.7 billion of goods travels back and forth between the U.S. and Mexico. And there's that aspect of it, too, that I think could hurt our economy.
Well, look at how okay.
It's already costing us $18
billion. Millions and the billions that we're spending now. How much did we spend in January? Was it $18 billion or $18 million?
$18 billion, I believe.
$18 billion in illegal aliens. So I don't care about about your 1 point whatever billion.
That's right.
Mexico need to get it together when it comes to the border. These people need to stop trying to come up over here, and we have nowhere to put these people.
That's right.
Go to the ports of entry. Get in line and wait your turn. Is the way our laws are supposed to work over here.
That's
Instead
right.
of people just crossing, and then we have nowhere to put them. Now we have to.
That's
they
right.
have to release them back in our population. That's unsafe.
And whenever you talk about import, export, we can take and have those jobs over here in America. We can take and these factories that's closed down, reopen them and put those jobs here in America. How about that? Because right now, the way that the system is set up, it is not working for Americans. We spend out too much money to give these people sanctuary cities to take and house them, feed them for free, where our average American citizens are living in tents on the street. You got illegal aliens living high off the doggone hog, eating whatever they want, getting free medical off the backs of taxpayers, American taxpayers' dollars. Now, it's time to shut this down until you get this system working right.
Diamond and Silk, I know you weren't always Republicans. You sort of came over with Trump. And so I wanted to ask you a question. It's a bit of a sensitive question, but back when you were Democrats and you were active as Democrats, did you ever get inappropriately touched or kissed by Joe Biden?
Well, we wasn't active as Democrats. We didn't vote it because we were conditioned. But we've been hearing about Creepy Joe touching on people. What I don't understand is why all of a sudden everybody is acting like they're shocked. The pictures and videos have been out there for a long time where he's a touchy-feely guy.
Yeah.
And it is inappropriate. It is inappropriate. I've seen him touch on little girls, touchy-feely. I've seen him do it to women and stuff. And listen, and he better not make no mistake and do that to Diamond or Silk.
No, he don't need to.
Because we ain't going to have to go to court for it. I'm going to be the judge and the jury for him.
He's going to have to go to the hospital if he does that.
I know. Do you ladies think that he shouldn't even bother running?
I don't think he should run, not because he's Creepy Joe and he touch on people, because he have no substance. Let me tell you something. He was right there up there with Obama doing all of this witch hunt collusion, the Russia witch hunt. Who ordered the Pfizer? I'm quite sure that he knew some stuff. That's number one. And number two, he gave us Obamacare. He didn't give us good health care. They gave us Obamacare. He helped with that. You know, some of the legislations that he pushed, it wasn't good for America. So that's why I don't want him to run. But here's the deal. Any of them can run.
That's right.
All 500. How many's running? 600
I think it's 1,000.
It's 1,000 of them. All 1,000 of them can run. Ain't now one of them going to be able to beat President Trump. Because President Trump has the ability to pick them apart piece by piece, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to pick them apart piece by piece, and when they're done, they will never be able to put themselves back together again. And if you don't believe us, you go ask Crooked Hillary, because she's still running around asking what happened.
All right, the Humpty Dumpty Caucus. Diamond and Silk, Trump supporters, host of the Viewer's View podcast, Fox Nation, the documentary Dummycrats. Diamond and Silk, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having
us.
Bye, ladies. And they joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. A big week for economic reports. Sports betting in Rhode Island not going so well. And Facebook changing the terms. Those stories next.
I remember feeling so desperate and so trapped. I was surrounded by family and friends that loved me. Any one of them would have listened to me, but I was so afraid of opening up to them, too embarrassed to talk about what was causing me so much pain. It felt like torture to be so close to people that would have loved to help me and yet too embarrassed to ask for help. And then, a few weeks ago, I heard about Faithful Counseling here on the radio. Christian counselors, fellow believers, trusted therapists who not only share my faith, but could actually help me. They want to give you a free week so you can try them out. You can begin a conversation by text or phone, even video conferencing, in the privacy of your own home. Why not give it a try? If it's not for you, cancel during your first week and you won't pay a dime. Go to tryfaithfulcounseling.com. It's time to talk to someone who can help. Go now to tryfaithfulcounseling.com. It's so easy to get started, and your first week is free. Go to tryfaithfulcounseling.com.
A busy economic calendar this week. Investors get the latest data on retail sales, durable goods orders tomorrow, and the monthly jobs report Friday. The Rhode Island Lottery says the state's casinos lost nearly $1 million on sports betting in February. They won bets for the Super Bowl, and that leaves Rhode Island quite short of their projected $11.5 million for this fiscal year. Facebook says it's beefing up its requirements for political advertising ahead of European Union elections in May. Silicon Valley tech companies are under pressure from the EU. The authorities want them to prevent their platforms from being used to meddle in elections. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Guys, you're probably not taking care of your skin the way you should be. You're probably using the same bar of soap in the shower on your face that you're using on the rest of your body like some kind of savage. I bet you're not using any type of daily moisture, let alone one with SPF. It's time to do something smart about skincare. This company here in Chicago, Tiege Hanley, we broadcast from their facility last week. Much fun, very interesting business. And they're doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. I'm using their product now. I'm starting to understand why ladies use the moisturizer and the skin rejuvenator and all that, the age rejuvenator and all that stuff.
About time you got on board.
It's a simple, affordable, and effective, the Tiege Hanley products. You get all the products you need for your daily skincare regimen shipped directly to your door, so you don't have to go shopping. Thank goodness, because I wouldn't. No hidden fees or inflated costs. They have an online review score of 4.6 out of 5 with more than 2,200 reviews. They ship to 108 countries, so this is a global concern. They've got 3 skincare systems. Each include their wash, scrub, and moisturizers with SPF 20 because they also understand guys are active outside and want to provide some protection from skin cancer. So do what I did. Go to Tiege.com/DanProft and use the promo code Dan20, Dan the number 20. Check out for 20% off your first box. That's Tiege, TIEGE.com/DanProft. And the promo code is Dan20.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health.
To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
You've heard me talk about Northridge Prep before, how much I love their paper and pen approach in the classroom. No one-to-one iPads, Chromebooks, nothing. 0 distractions. Well, we talked to a current Northridge Prep mom about the many schools that jumped on the tech bandwagon. Here's what she had to say about Northridge Prep. I've heard from many teachers, no matter how many web filters and whatnot you put on it, the boys always figure it out and how to get around the filters. Snap photos, download games. It's just a huge distraction. I just don't see the benefit of computers in class. Everyone jumped on that bandwagon. I think schools that had a lot of money recognized them as something positive. But I applaud Northridge Prep for not jumping on the bandwagon and really recognizing what's best for the boys. It's not backwards or antiquated. It's just common sense. Learn more about Northridge Prep at their open house on Sunday, April 7th. This Sunday, April 7th. Seating is limited, so register online today at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Stop by your local Ace for our biggest lawn and garden sale of the spring. Get a $5 reward for every $25 you spend on Scott's, Miracle-Gro, and Ortho products. And don't miss our neighborhood yard party this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. See product demonstrations plus get help for all of your lawn and garden projects. Hurry in for our biggest lawn and garden sale of the spring. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members at participating stores and acehardware.com through April 15th. Maximum reward of $50.
Hey, my friend's retail store was the victim of IoT password theft.
Yep. Cybercriminals are taking over security cameras, payment systems, and other IoT devices by exploiting vulnerabilities.
What if they target us and our dispersed network?
We're secured with Barracuda. We have advanced firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our cloud infrastructure, and total email protection.
Such a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
AM 560.
The Answer.
So you do hear about the new dance?
Yeah, Beto's got theme music, right?
He does. Everybody loves
Beto. Robert Francis Frost.
Because it's B-E-T-O. Here we go. Ready? Did you see the ladies dancing?
Oh, I saw.
Hard to unsee them once you see them, huh?
Yeah, nothing like middle-aged women
doing a dance?
Well, yes, gyrating on the lawn. Yeah, now
something to see.
Just a point of order.
Yes.
Isn't the Indian from that band? Wouldn't that be considered cultural appropriation and not in keeping with our wokeness in 21st century America?
Yeah.
So I got a real problem with that. Also, the leather guy.
Oh yeah.
Cultural appropriation of a gay biker. Also cultural appropriation. Although I think he was gay.
He was gay.
Yeah.
I think they all were. Dan. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
So it's appropriate theme music is what you're saying. We're going to update that story we reported months ago. The Old Town homeowners suing a family with a special needs girl, 707.
But first, straight into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Authorities searching for two on the DuPage River. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Will the president carry out his threat? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. He said he might close the border, blaming Mexico for not stopping an influx of illegal immigrants that have been apprehended lately.
The idea of just using bluster and statements and we're going to close down the border, we're going to cut off the aid, that's not going to do anything.
Democratic Congressman Tom Suozzi, Fox's John Deckers, live at the White House.
Despite warnings that closing the U.S.-Mexico border would cause immediate economic damage on American businesses, the president not backing down from his threat to close ports of entry. An acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney defended the proposed action on ABC's This Week.
Democrats will not give us any additional money to do this. They won't give us any additional people. And importantly, they will not change the law that is acting as this giant magnet for people from South and Central America to come into this country.
Sealing the border with Mexico could disrupt supply chains for automakers and lead to price increases on produce at supermarkets. Dave?
John, there are more than 1,200 flight delays this morning across the country because of a data problem with the flight planning weight and balance program.
Southwest tweeting, "We have received word that the problem has now been resolved." Here are some of the major airlines that were impacted by this: Southwest, United, JetBlue, Alaska, and Delta.
That's Fox's Aisha Hasni. Former Vice President Biden, who's considering entering the Democratic race for the White House, says he doesn't believe he's ever acted inappropriately with women, responding to Lucy Flores, a former Nevada politician who claims he made her uncomfortable kissing the back of her head back in 2014.
It's completely inappropriate, that it does not belong in any kind of a professional setting, much less in politics.
That's Flores on CNN State of the Union. A guilty plea in Malaysia in the killing of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's estranged half-brother. But Don Thi-hung, who's Vietnamese, didn't admit to murder. She pleaded guilty to causing harm, got a 3-year sentence, and could be released next month. The U.S. believes Kim's regime ordered the murder, and 4 North Korean suspects were never caught. This is Fox News.
Skies are blue. Sun is out. 26 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good Monday morning. I'm Mike Scott. Flights stuck on the ground at Midway this morning and at airports across the country because of system-wide outages. Southwest tweeting out that the situation is being resolved, but to frustrated passengers, Southwest says it's impacting our flights system-wide. And we're working to see if it's affecting any other carriers as well. Apparently it is. Delta telling passengers the same thing just moments ago. The FAA said moments ago the outages are also impacting United at O'Hare, along with JetBlue and Alaska Airlines. 2 firefighters are hurt battling a blaze on Chicago's west side. Both are hospitalized this morning with non-life-threatening injuries. Reverend Jesse Jackson and a few other clergy members will gather here in Chicago today, trying to support Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx as she struggles over criticism over the decision to drop charges against Jussie Smollett. Meantime, the top prosecutor in Chicago is welcoming an independent investigation of that case.
We have people every day who have the same class of felony, same background, engaging in the same things that Mr. Smollett did.
Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx. A 16-year-old is facing a reckless homicide charge in a case that killed an off-duty Cook County Sheriff's deputy over the weekend in Chicago Ridge. Deputy James Cook's vehicle was struck by the teenager driving early Saturday. The deputy sheriff was driving home at the time of that crash. Chicago sports. Rangers beat the Cubs 11-10. White Sox 6-3 winners over the Royals in KC. Blackhawks host the Jets later on tonight. The news service of Accountemps. Finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 7:04 on AM 560. It is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Respectfully, if you can pull your head out of your Trump love right now.
The Joe Walsh Show.
The President of the United States should not be attacking a dead man. There's just got to be a certain level of decency that we expect from our president. If you want Trump to win in 2020, this kind of crap is going to kill it.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5, right before Larry Elder at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
You work hard. You know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today.
It is 7:07. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center with Jim Talamonte.
In southwest suburban Worth, southbound Ridgeland is closed from Wood Avenue to Holm Avenue due to a structure fire. Have delays on the eastbound Reagan Tollway this morning. It's heavy 83 to York due to construction. The northbound Tri-State has heavy pockets from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Edens runs 24 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 38 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 16 from Montrose, 13 in the Express, outbound 37 to the airport. The Eisenhower's a 45-minute drive, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, 80 to the Verge, Bishop 425. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. And our meteorologist is Steve Williams.
It'll be breezy today with sunshine and a few clouds. The high today near 50. Considerable cloudiness for tonight, low 37. A blend of sun and clouds, a breezy day tomorrow, an afternoon shower in spots. The high tomorrow, 52. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
26 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So we told you about this story the end of last year, several months ago, back in November. Bill Deacon and Lisa Dielman buy a house in Old Town, the Old Town neighborhood of Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Do you like Old Town?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Make room for their growing family. Couple has 4 kids after having twins.
That's a lot of kids to raise in Chicago. Good for them.
They bought a building at 1848 North Lincoln Avenue. And that building had been on the market since 2010, had fallen to a state of disrepair. The neighbors on the block called it the Rat House, according to Dielman, who's lived in that ward, 43rd Ward, for more than a decade. They have a daughter, teenage daughter, who uses a wheelchair. She suffers from a degenerative condition that increasingly makes her struggle with her mobility. So the family that bought this house, Deacon and Dielman, in renovating the house, they thought they'd renovate the house to make it accessible for their daughter.
Yeah, which only makes sense.
Right.
People do that all the time in our neighborhood. If you have an elderly parent that needs a wheelchair, they'll build a ramp. I mean, you have to get a permit for it, but I never complained once about that.
Well, this is outside renovation that sparked concern among the more preservationist neighbors.
To keep it authentic, you mean?
The couple's renovation plans included a new attached 2-car garage with a wheelchair ramp, an elevator, and 2 accessible bathrooms.
And that's from the rear?
Yeah,
it's got to be.
The alley, right. The family wanted to build the attached garage so their daughter can access the garage directly from the home.
Yeah.
So a safety measure to protect her wheelchair from the elements and so forth.
Right. Can you imagine if it's snowing or anything, raining? I mean, it's so much easier if you have an attached garage to get from the house to the car.
Yeah. They.
Am I making too much sense?
They were granted a building permit from the city, prepared to begin construction, but then the Old Town Triangle Association, the Old Town Old Guard, as it were, complained that this would negatively impact the architectural and historical integrity of the neighborhood. They opposed the project, particularly the street-level garage that would face out to North Lincoln Park West. 11 neighbors wrote letters opposing the project.
Do we have names?
Steve
Can we
Weiss.
shame them?
Steve Weiss is the president of the Old Town Triangle
that's right.
Association. He wrote the letter to the alderman, Michelle Smith, who, by the way, is up for re-election tomorrow, and I think she's going to lose.
Who's her opponent or her challenger?
Some other socialist. Doesn't
okay.
matter. 6 of one, half dozen the other. I understand that this is Steve Weiss in the letter to Michelle Smith. I understand that the people who purchased the house have a child that requires special needs. What I don't understand is why they chose to buy a house in a landmark zone when you have these needs. I don't mean to be heartless or uncaring.
Oh, no, not at all.
But this is not the neighborhood for that. Here you conform to the rules, not the other way around. Now I'm feeling bad that they're shaming us because we're not willing to allow them this garage, which they need for their child. They should have put the child's needs first and moved to a neighborhood more conducive to her needs. Here we go again. You don't belong in our neighborhood. This is from the Hate Has No Home Here crowd, by the way. No, this is the tolerant left
very tolerant.
in the city. Well, the update of the story 6 months later is the association, Steve Weiss's organization there, the Old Town Triangle Association, is suing the zoning board and the family, alleging that the family's attorney engaged in behind-the-scenes lobbying in order to obtain support from city officials and others without registering as a lobbyist with the Chicago Board of Ethics. The complaint alleges that the Deacons, the family, did not act in good faith throughout the process. They only consulted with the Old Town Triangle Association after a stop work order was issued by the city. They relied on emotional appeals to sway the board. Oh, well, goodness gracious. The use of emotional appeals in the public policy arena. That's verboten now? By the way, what's the appeal the Old Town Association is making? What's the historical architectural integrity appeal? It's an emotional appeal or an aesthetic appeal. We're taken aback by the persistence of our neighbors and their willingness to continue to discriminate against a person with disabilities, said Dad, Bill Deacon. It's a very sad day for our family and a very sad day for the treatment of people with disabilities by the Old Town Triangle Association. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Whose side are you on in this dispute?
I'm with the Deacons.
Why?
I mean, well, first
you
of all,
don't care about the architectural integrity of the Old Town Triangle neighborhood?
It's the garage area, which is attached to an alley. It's not in the front of their house. They're not asking to put a handicap ramp or a wheelchair accessible ramp in front of their house. So what they do in their backyard on their own property, I think, is their own business. And it's not going to lower the property values of their neighborhood. They just want an attached garage and then a ramp from the back, from the rear.
No, all the other policies these same people support and promote is what's driving down their property values. Unbeknownst to them, apparently. But this is something where you have to be concerned about the neighborhood. This is why you have these associations.
For people in general. Well, I mean, where are their moral, navigation systems when they're suing the family?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Try being in a wheelchair for one day, okay? Just try it. Drive around Chicago. See how that goes for you. Try to run errands.
Well, I'm just a little confused
work.
because, again, I hear a lot of talk about concern for persons with disabilities from politicians across the spectrum, concern, commitment to serve vulnerable populations. And nobody's being asked to serve anybody. The family's taking care of their daughter. And yet you have one of these sort of quasi-governmental bodies because they've been essentially they work in concert with city government when it comes to land use. So they become an appendage of city government and can intercede to tell people what they can or can't do with their private property. And in this case in particular, not much concern for the quality of life for a special needs girl at no cost to them. No, nothing is being imposed on them.
Right.
They are imposing on this family.
Not asked to
right.
Anything.
So it's a little strange to me. Oh, by the way, I know conservatives, Republicans are heartless. We don't care about persons with disabilities. We don't do anything. we're just pro-life, and then we don't care about the human being when they're actually here and have to live in this terrible world that's going to end in 12 years because we haven't banned airline travel yet. I get it. Sure, of course. Did you see last week what President Trump did for Down Syndrome Day? Celebrating the lives and achievements of Americans with Down syndrome. LifeSiteNews.com did. Underreported in the D.C. press corps, surprising. Vice President Pence, along with President Trump and Ivanka, had families who have a family member with Down syndrome to the White House. Today we celebrate the lives and achievements of Americans with Down syndrome. VP and I will always stand with these wonderful families, and together we will always stand for life, Trump tweeted, supporting the petition calling on the UN to help stop the abortion of Down syndrome babies. We could do the same here in places like New York and Virginia and Illinois. But I just was mentioning that because I know that Republicans and conservatives aren't standing with persons who have disabilities.
I feel so bad for that girl. Imagine what she's going through. Now her family's getting sued. It's bad enough you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
My God. Are you kidding me?
There's this great picture of her standing, or her classmates standing around her in this picture. Ava Deacon is her name. This is out on Twitter and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
so
I'll look it up.
She's at the University of Chicago Lab School. I mean, obviously, fortunately, her parents do well enough to buy this property, to renovate it, send her to lab school. But they're taking care of her, and good for them. They're standing with her. And so right here, I just love this picture on Twitter because, like, here you go. There's Old Town Triangle Association's public enemy number one, this little girl in a wheelchair. Because they're so concerned about the architectural integrity of the neighborhood. Hey, yeah, those are the people really keeping Chicago from falling in the abyss, aren't they? They've really got their eye on the prize, the big stuff. This place is such the city and state is so barbaric,
and it's despicable what they're doing.
This has to be the most barbaric city and state in the country. Barbaric, all the way up. Across every demographic, across the political spectrum, barbaric. You should be ashamed to live in this godforsaken state. I know I am. John in Palatine.
Hey, Dan and Amy. Listen, 2 points. I think if Michelle Obama or Valerie Jarrett make any type of phone calls to anyone, it should be to the zoning permit place to help out the deaconess for Ava.
Yeah.
And the other thing, as a magnanimous gesture, Rahm Emanuel should maybe step in and help that family out since he's so benevolent to the Chicago area.
All right. Thanks for the call, John. No political points to be scored there. Steve on 94.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm just curious to find out where does the handicap actually live? Like, where would you actually tell them to go?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
probably downtown to a high rise.
Exactly, right? That makes absolutely no sense.
Well, right.
And then
go ahead.
And then on top of that, how are we not, especially the left, it kills me that they are blinded to the fact that they're promoting more segregation than any other, like, how could you say conservatives think racism or whatever? What would you consider this? Like, you're telling a family because they have a handicap, something they can't actually control, that you should live in this area because we don't want your kind here. Does that not sound like when there was this horrible time in this country where blacks couldn't live somewhere else? Like, it just, to me, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Steve. No, it's right. Yeah, what about the Old Town? I have a handicapped child. I have a child with disabilities. All right, you better check with the Old Town Old Town Triangle Association to find out where you can live. How about we do, like Steve said, how about we just do housing where if you have a child with disabilities or a family member with disabilities and you want to live in Chicago, we just have segregated housing. We erect a housing project for families that have a family member with disabilities.
Unbelievable.
Frickin' place.
I know. It's embarrassing.
Bonnie in Crown Point.
Hello.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi. you know, and I'm gonna tell you where I come from here real quick. So I'm a lot older than you and Amy. I've been in Chicago since the mid-50s. I've lived in that area. I have watched developers chip away at beautiful old homes that should have been landmarked and were not. And I will tell you this. These people, this family, chose. And they could afford to live anywhere. They chose to live in an area that was landmarked. And they had a disabled daughter. Now, I'm not being a bitch or anything, pardon my French, but I have a disabled son. And guess what? I am a lot poorer than them, and I went and I built a house for my family to live that was able to, you know, accommodate his disability. And I made sure that I could build this home in this place before I built it. So what I'm saying is, I feel badly for the family because I know what it's like to have a disabled child.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I understand that, you know, you don't get to live wherever you want and then expect other people to make accommodations for you.
Well,
that's not fair, because then other people will come in later and then they'll want an accommodation for maybe something lesser, and you're going down a road that maybe you don't want to go down. And I'm really feeling bad that so many beautiful landmark homes are in jeopardy, aren't being maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Some properties should be landmarked and they're not. You know, so these people, like I said, they are richer than God. They can go anywhere they want, but they're trying to make a point here.
Well, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Thanks for the call, Bonnie. I mean, two points. One is, we're going down a road of private property rights, which is a road I'm willing to go down. I'd actually like to go down it, in fact. Number one. Number two, in terms of the process here, and them choosing to live here, to buy the home, to live there, right? So this was called the Rat House in the neighborhood. It was on the market for 5 years before they bought it.
So
Number
they
one.
did the association a favor by buying the property and changing it around. It's no longer called the Rat House. It's very pretty, too, if you look online.
And number two, they went through the legal process. They got a permit to do the renovation. Now, you can challenge the permit, as the Old Town Triangle Association is doing, but it's not like they just did this willy-nilly without going through the city code requirements for improving the property, renovating the property. So they were granted the right to do what they did. So those are a couple of other inconvenient facts. James in Westmont.
Morning, you two. A couple of quick points. You mean the left chooses style over substance? Wow, that's kind of a radical thought, right?
Surprising.
Yeah, and also, you know, my radical all-male society group I belong to, right, Dan?
The Knights of Columbus, which according to Kamala Harris is a racist organization, I believe, or a white supremacist organization.
We're white supremacists, women-hating, whatever.
Non-conforming.
Non-conforming, whatever you want to call us. We're the biggest supporters and contributors to, the Special Olympics. So, I don't know, how heartless we are, right?
Yeah, but is it only white Special Olympians?
Every Special Olympian I've seen were from all different types and, colors, races, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So, but we take care of the men first, of course, right?
Thanks for the
we
call.
Don't
Thanks for the
That
call,
goes
James.
without saying.
We appreciate the sarcasm, because it's certainly warranted in the direction of the Old Town Triangle Association and the left in Chicago, isn't it?
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss. Because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women and men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started is a single text message. You'll get an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card when you text TRUST to 85850. Bosley will show you, for free, how great your hair could look. You'll also see, for free, why you're losing hair and how to get it back. Women and men all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert. Ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part? Bosley has permanent solutions to hair loss. You'll love what they'll do for your hair. So drop what you're doing long enough to send a text. Get your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting TRUST to 85850. Don't forget, that's TRUST to 85850.
Hey, if your basement leaks, stop it from leaking. Do what I did and call Permaseal, 1-800-421-SEAL. You don't like it when your living room or bedroom get wet, right? So why do you settle for a wet basement? For over 40 years, Permaseal team believes your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. You can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325 or permaseal.net.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Stop by your local Ace for our biggest lawn and garden sale of the spring. Get a $5 reward for every $25 you spend on Scott's, Miracle-Gro, and Ortho products. And don't miss our neighborhood yard party this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. See product demonstrations plus get help for all of your lawn and garden projects. Hurry in for our biggest lawn and garden sale of the spring. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members at participating stores and acehardware.com through April 15th. Maximum reward of $50.
Hey, my friend's retail store was the victim of IoT password theft.
Yep. Cybercriminals are taking over security cameras, payment systems, and other IoT devices by exploiting vulnerabilities.
What if they target us and our dispersed network?
We're secured with Barracuda. We have advanced firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our cloud infrastructure, and total email protection.
Such a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Springtime is here, and maybe over the weekend you started playing golf or doing the springtime yard work and notice the next day you're a little sore, sorer than you used to be, or maybe your energy level has been low. Well, you need to try.
If you're sore from doing yard work, you have other problems.
Oh, no, I'm always sore from doing yard work.
Well, then you should exercise.
You don't have a yard to work on.
That's right.
Okay?
I live in a high rise.
Exactly. So you're not alone if you're sore from doing yard work. And that's why you need to take Balance of Nature. Why? Well, 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables all in a single capsule. And you've heard the testimonials here on this air. And let me tell you, they're real. Dr. Douglas Howard, the creator of Balance of Nature, shared his emails, voicemails with me of real people who've gotten healthy by taking Balance of Nature. Folks, you're not getting your fruits and veggies while going through the fast food drive-through lane, are you? No, admit it. So get some Balance of Nature. And if you call or go online right now, you can lock in your price for the fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping. Why do you want to do that? Well, the price of fruits and veggies is about to go up. So do it today. Go to balanceofnature.com, promo code Chicago. Lock in yourself a year's supply of Balance of Nature. Again, that's balanceofnature.com, promo code Chicago, or call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751.
AM 560, The
Answer. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Okay, Elon Musk, take it easy. We need some help, some sloganeering for our signage at the rallies this morning, for and against Kim Foxx, for and against Jussie Smollett, for and against everything else under the sun. And we're going to take your calls to get your creative assistance.
And tomorrow is Election Day, folks. Don't forget to vote. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Skies are blue, 26 degrees at 7:30. Flights are stuck on the ground at airports across the country this morning because of system-wide outages. Now, that system-wide outage is impacting Southwest at Midway and United at O'Hare, at least for a time. The flights stuck on the ground are supposed to be moving soon. Delta telling passengers moments ago that the system-wide outage was impacting flights. JetBlue and Alaska Airlines also reporting some system-wide outages. Alarmed by an estimated 100,000 people being taken into custody at the U.S. border with Mexico, President Trump says he may shut it down this week. Kellyanne Conway telling reporters to take President Trump's threat of closing the U.S.-Mexico border seriously.
You're giving those metrics. What he's looking at is that 4,000 migrants apprehended in one day recently. We're on track this month for close to 100,000. We have never seen a surge like this.
Former Vice President Joe Biden denying claims of inappropriate conduct at a campaign event in 2014. Biden says in all of his years of campaigning, he never once believed he acted inappropriately.
We also need to have a conversation about powerful men feeling that they have the right to invade a woman's space whenever they'd like.
Well, that's Nevada Assemblywoman Lucy Flores, the former Assemblywoman on CNN's State of the Union. Taiwan is accusing China of reckless and provocative acts after 2 Chinese fighter jets crossed over a maritime border in the Taiwan Strait on Sunday. A search resumes later this morning for 2 people who went missing on the DuPage River in Shorewood. Police say a man went into the water at Hamel Woods last night. A woman jumped in to try and save him. Both are presumed death. There were recovery efforts underway overnight. 2 firefighters are hurt after battling a fire on Chicago's west side. The blaze broke out last night in a 3-story apartment building on South Albany Avenue. By the way, the firefighters are hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. The murder trial of Kirk Zimmerman is getting underway. The first of 40 potential jurors expected to be screened in the trial of a man accused of killing his former wife in November of 2014. Now, extra seating is being brought in to accommodate the expected crowd, as that trial has attracted national media attention in central Illinois. Rangers beat the Cubs 11-10 in Arlington. White Sox over the Royals 6-3 in Kansas City. Bulls take on the Knicks tonight, while the Blackhawks will host the Jets. The news service of Express Service Incorporated. You work hard, you know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Dennis Prager live in Chicago for Cigar Night on Thursday, May 16th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Dennis will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets start at $29 and include a cigar. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/cigar before they sell out. Sponsored by The Range at 355 and healthinsurancementors.com.
This Friday, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters Friday.
What if donut shops were like most investment firms? They'd sell one kind of donut and expect everyone to like it. Sprinkles? No. Glaze? No. Ooey gooey fillings? No, no, and no. Creative planning is different. We look at your entire financial picture to create an individual plan just for you. Call 866-CREATIVE or visit creativeplanning.com to learn more. Investment strategies recommended by Creative Planning are not assured of earning a profit or avoiding a loss in declining markets.
As the weather gets warmer and you go outside in the yard, look up. How's that chimney doing? It probably got a good workout this past winter while it was keeping you toasty during those rough months of extreme cold. Or maybe you didn't use it at all because you were worried it hadn't been checked out in a few years and maybe a safety hazard. Well, this would be a good time to call Fireplace and Chimney Authority and get a checkup. You still have a few cool evenings left to enjoy your fireplace before the summer heat arrives. Fireplace and Chimney Authority do masonry and all chimney repairs. Their certified technicians will make sure your chimney is in good condition, so you don't have to worry about any potential hazards. For a limited time, get $100 off any masonry or relining work over $750. Call Fireplace and Chimney Authority for an inspection at 630-279-8500, 630-279-8500, and visit their beautiful showrooms in Lisle and Elmhurst to see a great selection of fireplaces, gas logs, and grills.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
7:37. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
The Reagan Tollway has heavy delays this morning eastbound 31 to Eel and 83 to York. Farther west, major interchange work starts today at 47 and at 56. The northbound tri-state traffic is slow going. From Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Eastbound Adams Tollway, it's tight 59 to Meacham. Eden's 21 minutes, like Cook to Montrose. Kennedy 42 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, a little heavier in the express. Eisenhower, an hour 390 to downtown, 44 minutes from Manhunt. Stevenson 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan is 29 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 24 minutes, I-80 for the merge. Bishop Ford, same. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Breezy, sun and clouds, I-48. Currently 26. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't miss Cigar Night with Dennis Prager and Dan Proft on Thursday, May 16th. Get your tickets today at 560theanswer.com/cigar.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. I've tweeted out my sign for this morning's rally. Oh, and I've Instagrammed it too.
Because you're trying to be hip?
I'm cool. I'm trying to replace Olivia Jade.
Did you Snapchat it?
No.
Put it on your story?
What will your sign say at today's rally? Or if you can't go to the rally, what would you like us to offer in your honor? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I got a couple already.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait, now we have 3 other sides here. We have 3 signs to fill out, okay?
Right.
Cutting them up right now.
Cook County, where we demand our corruption discreet. Yeah. Right.
I've got my favorite one. Don't take my favorite one.
No justice from the Kim the Fix Foxx.
Ooh, that's good.
Justice, Justice.
Oh, I see what
you know. You like the hashtag injustice.
Yes.
Right. You got to do that. That's another. Also, this is an obvious one, but it's a good one. This is MAGA country.
I wonder if people are going to wear their MAGA hats.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? My favorite, it came from a very loyal listener, you know, Ronald in Berwyn there. Racism is nothing to hoax about. Get it?
A little play on
joke
words.
about, hoax about, and it's April 1st.
Thank you for explaining.
But a lot of police officers I know are going. I got a text message saying that we are busing in cops from the north and south sides. So that's at 11 a.m., the Kim Foxx protest because of dropping charges against Jussie Smollett, not having him plead out or pay the full bill. But then there's there's a pro Kim Foxx protest at 10:30 involving groups that you mentioned that I've never heard
It's not really. It's being billed as a counter protest because it's mostly against the police having the rally at 11 o'clock. Counter protest.
Police never rally.
The Chicago Fraternal Order of Police planning a protest in order to uphold their twisted view of what justice should be. However, the FOP itself is the real barrier to justice and accountability in our communities. This historically racist organization has continued to lobby for legislation and policies that protect violent and corrupt police officers and oppose the reforms to hold them accountable. In fact, they were the strongest voice in opposition to the conviction of Laquan McDonald's murder. We can no longer continue to be bullied into silence. Jesse Jackson Sr.
Yeah, he's going to be there. I found out. I got a little blurb saying that he's going to be attending. Reverend Al Sharpton is not.
Some of the other sponsoring organizations.
This is great. People, listen up.
SOUL. Which
acronym for?
Obviously. What do you mean?
Oh, it's just SOUL?
Southsiders Organized for Unity and Liberation. SOUL. You know, SOUL. Chicago Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. Love their work. The People's Lobby, Black Roots Alliance, Black Lives Matter, Chicago.
Okay, so it sounds like a hot mess.
So, yeah, I mean, cops and then those organizations all exchanging pleasantries for a couple of hours. That should be interesting. Some other sign suggestions. I smell a fox with 2 X's.
Oh, I like that. Ooh, I've got one. What does a fox say?
What does the fox say?
Oh, yeah, but you don't have music. Although you could bring a boombox and play that. Does anybody still have boomboxes?
I do. I actually have a boombox.
All right. Well, why don't you bring yours?
Okay.
But the sign, what does the fox say? You're free to go. How about that?
I love it.
All right.
Love it.
Okay.
And also, we learned real quick while we're waiting to take your phone calls, 312-642-5600. Jussie Smollett's attorney told the truth about who contacted who about the deal that was made in court.
So all I know is they approached us about dismissing it, and not the other way around.
Yeah.
Wow, looky here, huh?
Sure. I want to clear those cases so they can focus on the real criminals.
Yeah, they were scared about something.
And it's interesting, too. We joked about this being great news for R. Kelly. His attorney's not joking. Steve Greenberg telling USA Today over the weekend that the state's attorney's case is, quote, going to crumble. So you can look forward to R. Kelly being the next one released. Maybe he'll have to do 16 hours of community service at push and forfeit a bond or pay back child support. But we'll see how they prosecute that case. Some more signs. This is payoff country. Poor Rom, faux outrage is exhausting. Grab them by the plea deal.
I like that.
Okay.
I like your sign, though, and you tweeted it out, right? Your sign's the best.
Replace Kim Foxx with this fox and an arrow pointing down to me holding it.
And I want you to know that photo shoot took a while because we had to get the perfect picture.
That's right.
It's okay to be vain.
And
it's okay.
And we had to apply many, many filters.
Exactly.
Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything clever to add. I'm listening to this, and I would like to be joining those police protesters just because of the ludicrousness of the corruption and how it's a whitewash. But then you're talking about this counter-protest, and it seems to me that it feels to me like they're trying to initiate some sort of race war, and I seriously mean that. You mentioned the people that are going to be there and what they're going to be doing. And what they're protesting, fortunately, I think that I hate to speak as the white people. I hate even saying that, but aren't going to show up and counter-protest to counter-protesters. Is my feeling that people have their heads on straight.
Well, let's remember something too, which is totally underreported, except here. The Chicago police force, basically half the Chicago police force is black and Latino. About a third of the Chicago police officers are black, which is about the black population in Chicago. So, I mean, this idea that the Chicago Police Department is some lily-white organization is just absurd. And so the idea that black police officers don't care about black lives is also absurd. Not to mention all the other police officers, too, maybe with a few exceptions. But in, 12,000 person organization, you're going to have some screwballs and mess-ups, and the Chicago Police Department certainly has. But how they're characterizing how the left and the Black Lives Matter and the race hustlers and the race racketeers characterize this just doesn't even come close to squaring with the facts. Thanks for the call, Tom. Yeah, thinking about that. Ludicrous. He said ludicrous, and I'm thinking about like a sign Ludacris would make for this. Something that rhymes.
Oh, rhymes. Yeah.
Owen in Willowbrook.
Hi. The question of the day is, which rally will Ron show up
to? That's a good question.
Thanks for the call. He'll be at both, right?
Well, it's his goodbye tour.
Or neither. More to the point.
He's out. Tomorrow's election day, folks.
Greg in Schaumburg.
Bye, Ron.
Okay, I'm here to defend mine from Friday. You were coming up toward the end of the day, and so I did it very quickly. Now, first of all, you have to have a little bit more rules in this. The sign has to be able to fit on a decent sheet of paper. It has to be able to make the news. And since you're Dan, Ann, Amy, Jay, you're a team. Thus, Dan, you would be wearing your sweatshirt that says, I'm with her. Amy would be wearing her nice little furry hat that she used to wear on TV. And the sign would say, you ready?
Yeah.
This Fox says, quote, outfoxed, close quote.
This
That's
Fox
way
says
too much
outfoxed.
for me.
It's too much punctuation for Amy. Thanks for the call,
What did I
Greg.
do with the X? Look at it. What's wrong with me?
I don't,
Racism is not a hoax.
that says racism is not a HOA. Like racism is not a homeowners association. I don't know what.
I told you my handwriting's atrocious.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty bad. Well, let's try that again.
Deborah in Arlington Heights.
Yeah, this is for Ram. Chicago is a fox-free zone.
Oh, there
Well, you know what? I'm putting that
That's
on.
pretty good.
Fox
Thanks for the call,
free
Deborah.
zone.
That's pretty good.
I like that.
Mark in Crystal Lake. Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Mark in Crystal Lake.
Hey, good morning.
There you go.
How about fake hate has a home here?
That's pretty good. I like that. Fake hate has a home, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Hate has no home here. Fake hate has a home here. Yeah, that's symmetrical. I like it. Felix in Mount Prospect.
Morning, guys. Only fools will counter protest on April 1st.
Yes.
My signage would read, Chicago corruption stinks. How long will we have to smell it?
Chicago corruption stinks. How long will we have to small it? That's pretty good. Thanks for the call, Felix. I like the plays on words. Those are good. I like a little bit more rhyming, please, though. Tom in Schaumburg.
I don't know what people are complaining about. They got the government they voted for. Everybody's always known that Chicago is a great place to live if you're a criminal because you can get all the justice that you can afford to pay for. And all this talk about police oversight on everything, pretty soon the cops won't be able to drive down the road without being assigned a gangbanger to sit in the back of their car to tell them what they can and cannot do. Where's the union? How come they're not screaming for federal oversight on this moron, anti-white racist Kim Foxx? When's that coming?
Well, thanks for the call, Tom. Well, the FBI is apparently looking into Kim Foxx's handling of the situation, and in a famous last words op-ed that she wrote in the Tribune over the weekend, I welcome the review.
Okay, well, you're going to get it, honey, and you're going to get it good and hard. You know how I know that? Because somebody said it once.
Well, you're going to get it if you continue that attitude, and you're going to get it good and hard. Her famous last words, very reminiscent of Jesse Jackson's Bring It On to Patrick Fitzgerald, and then it got brought. And Rod Blagojevich telling the FBI he's fine with people taping his conversations, and then they did, and then he went bye-bye.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this works out for Kim Foxx. By the way, Saturday night, I know you were wondering.
We have to inform people about what happened at the NAACP Image Awards.
That's right.
Somebody was a no-show.
For the Best Supporting Actor, Jussie Smollett was nominated, but it was Jesse Williams who won. Jussie not in attendance, as Amy said, and probably good for him that he wasn't, because what would his expression have been when the camera panned to him when Chris Rock panned him?
I guess I gotta present an award. They said no Jussie Smollett jokes. Yeah, I know. What a waste of light skin, you know? You know what I could do with that light skin? That curly hair, my career would be out of here. F***ing running Hollywood. Yes, no, just... What the hell was he thinking? From now on, I ain't never gonna know you're Jesse from now on. You don't even get the you no more. That you was respect. You ain't getting no respect from me.
That's right up
Good
there
for
with
him.
Chris Rock and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
How much for one rib? That is one of the best skits within a movie ever. Chris Rock at the barbecue joint run by Jim Brown and Isaac Hayes. You're not going to get better comedy than that. Chris Rock is always funny. Text from 312, get the Fox out.
Oh, I like that.
Text from 815, well, at least he saved the sandwich.
Save the tuna sandwich, because I love getting tuna at 2 in the morning.
No, 847 Chicago, home of the swamp.
Oh, yeah.
Brian in St. John.
Good morning. Great show.
Thank you.
No penalty box, Fox.
No penalty box, Fox.
I like the hockey
All right.
metaphor.
Thanks for the call. It has a bit of a sting on it with the Blackhawks missing the playoffs, though.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I've probably been on it 2 years now, and it's been, honestly, a godsend. After you're on it for a while, you tend to forget the aches and pains and things that was going on in your body and your life before you started taking Balance of Nature. I get up, I go up and down the stairs, no pain. Hey, you know what? Thank goodness for Balance of Nature.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
You know, I can display that, replace Kim Foxx with this Fox sign, unironically, because of T. Shanley, because they've made me a fox with their skincare system. I bet you're not using any type of daily moisture, let alone one with SPF, gentlemen. It's time to do something smart about your skincare. Chicago company, T. Shanley, they're doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. I'm using it and enjoying it. Started by 4 guys who know how guys think. T. Shanley is simple, affordable, effective. You don't have to go shopping. Get all the products for your daily skincare regimen shipped directly to you. No hidden fees or inflated costs. The online reviews speak for themselves. So here's what you do. Go to Tiege.com/DanProft and use the promo code DAN20, Dan the number 20, and you check out for 20% off your first box. That's Tiege, Tiege.com/DanProft, and use the promo code DAN20.
If you maintain an industrial plant, you know your dust collection systems are a vital part of the operation of your plant. Without them, things can get dusty quick. And when your dust collection system malfunctions, the downtime can cost your plant money. Time to call the professionals at Vans Industrial for help.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. At Vans, we work with many different types and sizes of dust collectors, from 1,000 CFM to 100,000 CFM. If your system needs housing repair, tube sheet, pulse valves, ductwork, or collection hoods, give us a call. Schedule an inspection today to keep things running smoothly and avoid costly downtime. And when you're ready for a new dust collector, we can design your system from the collection hoods to the stack for plants of all size applications.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Message and data rates may apply. Texting enrolls for recurring text messages.
Hey, Dan, when we started Z Quiet 10 years ago, did you ever believe we would help so many couples kick snoring out of bed?
The response has been fantastic, like this story from Mark and Lynette.
It had gotten to the point where my wife and I weren't able to sleep in the same bedroom consistently.
I had to keep pushing or kicking, waking him up. And after he would wake up, maybe there were 10 minutes or 15 minutes before he would start snoring again. And I would hope I would fall asleep during that time, but if I didn't, it just made for a long night.
One time I remember my wife brought in a recording.
I said, listen to this. And he was like, what is that? Is there some animal? No, it's you. You're snoring.
And now with Z Quiet, that's no longer a problem at all.
I finally can sleep through the night.
Z Quiet works for both men and women. Text SLEEP to 246810 or go to getzquiet.com. Try it risk-free for 30 days for just $9.95. Text SLEEP to 246810.
One of the most frustrating aspects of running a business today is dealing with technology. It's wonderful when it's all working, but what about when it's not? IT, networks, computers, you just want to run your business. And hiring an IT department is out of the question, or is it? Dun, dun, dun. For only $795 a month, you can eliminate the hassle of IT and computer issues with Turnkey IT. It'll be like having your own in-house IT department, but better. Turnkey makes it happen. They make it secure. They make it smart. You'll be set up for success and not have to deal with all the technical issues that really can overwhelm a business. Turnkey becomes your IT department, and they'll help with all your daily IT issues, plus set you up with preventative steps to keep your business going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know where you stand with technology. Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. That's turnkey.pro.
Do you want your basement to be dry most of the time? If so, Permaseal is not the company for you. At Permaseal, we believe your basement should be dry all the time, no matter how hard it rains. Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. I hear story after story of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't worry about your living room or bedroom getting wet when it rains, and you should feel the same way about your basement. Just call 800-421-SEAL. We offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best value. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all the time, you know who to call. 800-421-SEAL. Permaseal has earned an A+ rating from the BBB and has received their 2016 Torch Award for Marketplace Ethics. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
AM 560, The Answer.
I mean, it's always dangerous when celebrities or celebrity CEOs try to become crossover artists and get into entertainment, singing, or an entertainer tries to sing, like Eddie Murphy doing She Likes to Party All the Time.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one, Elon Musk came out with a little ditty, a rap song over the weekend, and I think it has 1 million+ hits so far. Just take a little listen, see if you like it.
Sipping on some Bombay, we on the way to heaven. Amen, amen. R.I.P. Harambe, smoking on some strong.
What did he say?
Oh my God!
And we thinking about
Rest in peace, Harambe.
It's a dedication to a gorilla.
Yeah, that got killed in the Cincinnati Zoo.
Yeah, from one gorilla to the other.
Child. Well, what do you think?
What do I think? Yeah, that is more melodious.
Still breaks my heart.
That is more melodious than Elon Musk's electric-covered rap song. We still have more sign.
Oh, here we go.
Suggestions coming in.
I'm ready.
Jim in Algonquin, make Fox eat crow. All right, we're gathering them up, and Amy's going to memorialize them on cardboard. So look for them on your nightly newscast tonight.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk a little POTUS politics with David Harsanyi from The Federalist at 8:08.
But first, let's head into that newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Skies are blue this morning, and we expect a breezy day ahead. Authorities are searching for two on the DuPage River. 2 Chicago firefighters are hurt while battling a blaze on the west side. And the Reverend Jesse Jackson plans a rally in support of Kim Foxx. Rangers beat the Cubs. White Sox top the Royals in the series finale. Blackhawks host the Jets later tonight. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
A frustrating morning at airports across the country. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, all because of a computer problem. Fox's Tanya J. Powers explains live.
Well, Dave, it's been resolved now, but it caused issues with flight planning and has left behind residual problems. More than 2,000 flights delayed this morning. It affected the airlines that use the AeroData system. That includes Southwest, United, Delta, JetBlue, and Alaska Airlines. Airports seeing delays include Chicago, New York, Boston, Atlanta, Miami, and Detroit. Flying today, the FAA recommends checking with airlines directly for those flight updates, Dave.
And Tanya, President Trump just tweeted about the border. Days after threatening to close ports of entry with Mexico, he wrote, "We have a major national emergency, and Democrats working with Republicans in Congress can fix asylum and other loopholes quickly." Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, says he's not bluffing, and here's why.
4,000 migrants apprehended in one day recently. We're on track this month for close to 100,000. We have never seen a surge like this.
Now, Democrats maintain it's a manufactured crisis, and closing the border could hurt the economy. Nearly half of all imported U.S. vegetables come from Mexico, 40% of our imported fruit. In South Carolina, a candlelight vigil last night for Stephanie Josephson, a University of South Carolina student found murdered over the weekend after police say she got into a car thinking it was her Uber ride, but it wasn't, and the driver activated backseat child locks. Nathaniel Rowland was later arrested, now charged with kidnapping and murder. In Los Angeles, their morning Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle. He was shot outside a clothing store he owns yesterday. Police believe it could be a gang-related murder. There's an update on the economy showing we did less shopping last month. Retail sales fell 0.2% with declines at grocery and clothing and department stores. But on Wall Street, there could be some big gains. Dow futures up more than 200 points before the opening bell this hour. This is Fox News.
Blue skies, sunshine, 27 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. The search resumes for two people who went missing on the DuPage River near Shorewood. Police say a man went into the water at Hamel Woods last night. A woman jumped into the water trying to save and help that man struggling. Both are now presumed dead, and a recovery effort is underway. The Reverend Jesse Jackson and a few other clergy members will gather today in Chicago, trying to support Cook County Attorney Kim Foxx as she faces criticism over the decision to drop charges in the Jussie Smollett case. Meantime, that rally will be held at the same time as a Fraternal Order of Police rally outside of Fox's office. Meantime, the top prosecutor in Cook County is welcoming an independent investigation.
We have people every day who have the same class of felony, same background, engaging in the same things that Mr. Smollett did.
Fox says while there was considerable evidence suggesting that some of his claims may have been untrue, other aspects of the evidence would have made securing a conviction against Smollett uncertain. Illinois' Chief Justice this morning, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, is seeking an increase in judicial funding from the state. The Chief, Lloyd Carmeier, asking lawyers and lawmakers last week for a 23% jump in funds in separate appearances before the House and Senate. Rangers beat the Cubs 11-10. White Sox 6-3 winners over the Royals. Blackhawks host the Jets later on tonight, and the Bulls are taking on the Knicks. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, multiple airlines are experiencing system-wide outages this morning. Southwest and Delta are reporting issues with computer systems. The FAA says the problems are an in-flight planning program called AeroData. United, JetBlue, and Alaska are also affected. Saudi Aramco was the most profitable company in the world last year. The oil and gas company was helped by higher global oil prices. Reuters says its core earnings were $224 billion, almost 3 times as much as Apple. There's a merger in the cable business. Cable One is buying Fidelity Communications for nearly $526 million in cash. The deal is expected to close later this year. Fidelity serves customers in Arkansas, Illinois, Louisiana, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
It's 8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity reacts to the Mueller report.
If the lying, abusively corrupt news media is not held accountable for all of their lies, all of their breathless, hysterical reporting, now we know based on nothing in many cases, they believed what they wanted to believe, and it became a psychotic rage.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5. On AM 560, The Answer.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
All money managers might seem the same, but while some give their clients cookie-cutter portfolios, Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to your goals and needs. Some only call when they have something to sell. Fisher calls regularly, so you stay informed. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. So if you're in or nearing retirement, talk with us and find out why investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
.807. Let's check the roads in the AM 560 traffic center with Jim Talamonte.
Inbound Kennedy delays start at Canfield. It's 50 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 28 from Montrose, 27 on the Express. Edens is 22 minutes, Lake Cook Junction. The Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. 48 minutes from Manheim. Crash is reported at Manheim. Stevenson, 57 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound tri-state delays are from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bentonville Bridge. Southbound it's heavy, 137 to Lake Forest Oasis. Adams Tollway, it's gummed up 59 to Beecham after a crash. Reagan Tollway, slow 31 to Yackley and 80 to York. Northbound Veterans Memorial delays start at Fountain Road. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Sunshine, a few clouds. It'll be breezy today, high 50. Cloudy tonight, low 37. A blend of sun and clouds, a breezy day tomorrow. An afternoon shower in spots, high tomorrow at 52. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
27 degrees officially at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
One kiss is all it takes, falling in love with me, possibilities, I look like all you need.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. One kiss, all it took to derail Joe Biden's presidential campaign. The Dua Lipa of the Democrats there, Joe Biden. Is it possible to have your presidential campaign torpedoed because you love too much? You're just too affectionate with your fellow man and in particular woman.
Well, that's weird that you say that because Mika Brzezinski on Morning Joe just said, you know, he's extremely affectionate. He's extremely flirtatious in a completely safe way. But you know who didn't feel safe?
Lucy Flores.
Lucy Flores, who said that he grabbed her shoulders from behind, smelled her hair, and then kissed her head.
I felt powerless. I felt like I couldn't move. I just didn't even know how to process it. And my bigger point that I've been making is that in these power dynamic situations, and women are subjected to this in the political setting, but in work settings all the time, that you just kind of process it and then you move on because you have a job to do. And frankly, what do you say? Who do you tell? There just isn't really a mechanism to deal with it. And so that's what I did. I went on and I made my case and campaigned and frankly then went on with my life because, again, what do you do?
Yeah, I guess the Democrat Party isn't the party of Harvey Weinstein and Charlie Rose and Matt Lauer and all the barbarians of the left anymore.
Kevin
Boy, that's
Spacey. The list goes on and on and on.
And of course, Joe Biden is the last to know. I mean, you know, what she described, by the way, just as a quick aside, in her op-ed on this topic, my favorite phrase, I felt two hands on my shoulders. I froze. why is the Vice President of the United States touching me? How many women have had that unexpressed thought about Joe Biden is what I'd like to know.
And it's true. Well, Kellyanne Conway said you could just Google, and that's what I did. I went to YouTube and said "creepy Joe," and a whole montage of him touching elderly women. At one time, he had this biker chick on his lap, and he was rubbing her shoulders when he was out on the campaign trail. Little girls, little boys. I mean, it's just creepy.
How about most famously,
What?
and fitting the description Lucy Flores offered, during Ash Carter's swearing-in ceremony as Secretary of Defense during Obama's second term, and he's rubbing Ash Carter's wife's shoulders
And whispering in her ear,
Yeah, seems
too.
to be smelling her hair, like Lucy Flores was talking about.
But she's come forward and say this is not my Me Too moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I was thinking, why is the Vice President touching me? For more on this topic and POTUS politics, we're pleased to be joined by David Harsanyi, senior editor for The Federalist, thefederalist.com. His book, First Freedom, A Ride Through America's Enduring History with the Gun, From the Revolution to Today. David, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So is Kyle Smith writing a National Review on a serious note, and it's tough to take Joe Biden seriously, but he basically says, look, that Biden is over. If he was probably over as sort of a candidate of yesteryear, given where the center of gravity is in the Democrat Socialist Party these days. But with this, Joe Biden is not going to stand up to scrutiny. He got a pass because he was Obama's number 2, but Joe Biden on his own isn't gonna make it.
Well, I guess all the things that would make him a good candidate for the presidency, in the general, make him susceptible to, at least ideologically, to being undermined during the primaries. I mean, essentially, he's going to have to apologize for every view he took until last year, basically, and they're always oscillating with him anyway. So I think he's in trouble, and add on to that the sort of creepy behavior, the hair smelling fetish, and so on. That's probably a problem for him as well. Though I have to say, I'm of two minds here. Like, I think he's obviously a creepy guy, and we all know that sort of touchy kind of older guy.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't all know. We've seen them, whatever.
We've all had a Joe Biden in our life. Trust me.
Exactly,
Not me.
unfortunately. But is it, is it really something? Is he just sort of a bit inappropriate? Should he be lumped in with people who are, who are really do things that are?
No, of course not. He's not Harvey Weinstein, at least not as far as we know. But it is that you just don't want that creep factor from your president. Although I know some of the left would say, "Well, what about Trump?" But
Well, I mean, Bill Clinton was president. Kennedy.
Okay.
So do you
All
really
right.
think that
Never
this
mind.
is a game changer for Biden 2020?
I'm sorry?
Do you really think that this is a game changer for Biden 2020?
I think it's going to be a pretty big problem, yes. I mean, if you think about it, I think they're actually, whoever is, I'm not saying it's all a concerted effort, but if you can see this early, they're trying to sort of dissuade him from even running, I think, shows that there's probably going to be a lot there. I mean, I wrote a piece, I think last year, just going through some of his opinions in the past on women, on minorities, things like that. I mean, he's going to have a lot to answer for, and you can't go through an entire campaign apologizing for every view you've ever had. It's just going to be a problem on that level, and also the Me Too stuff is probably not going to be that easy to get past either.
Now, turning to a more serious candidate, sing it with us, David. B-E-T-O. Something fun. B-E-T-O. I don't know.
He rolled out that he's running for president for his 15th time.
Yeah.
Over the weekend.
Right. And I don't know which of the Village People he was dressed at, but I do know he said that illegal immigration makes us safer. And so I want you to help me understand that.
Same guy who said he wants to tear down the walls that do exist.
Right.
Working in the opposite direction. Oh, my God. I don't know. Honestly, I wonder how the American people would react to something like that. It's become this weird moral position to say that it's okay for anyone who wants to just walk across the border to do it. We're not allowed to say anything. We're not, we have to give them full rights, basically. I hope that that's not the sort of consensus or majority opinion of Americans, because it is, even if you're pro and liberal on immigration, as I'm pretty liberal on immigration, you just can't run a country that way. You have people. If people want to be the president of the United States who say we don't need borders, I mean, that is really disconcerting.
Well, and one person's opinion, one person who does not share that opinion, of course, is President Trump announcing not just cutting the foreign aid to the Golden Triangle countries who haven't stopped caravans starting from their countries, but also talking about going so far as to shut down the Mexican border this week if people don't start to get a little bit more serious about this. Amid even the New York Times reporting about the surge that's overwhelming border security. Is the president making the right call there? Do you think he's overreaching?
I'm not sure about that, but I don't know if he's overreaching. But here's the thing. I mean, these countries are responsible for their own citizens, and you can't have neighboring countries simply allowing a bunch of people, hundreds of thousands of people in the end, to cross into another country simply to alleviate, in essence, their own problems and poverty. So, I mean, I think he's right in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture. I don't know, though, specifically, how if shutting down the border with Mexico is a good idea or not as far as the economics of it go. It might be more harmful than good, but the threat makes sense to me. I mean, how long can you just allow this to happen? It's you can't have neighboring countries simply allowing this to go on with it, not doing anything about it or maybe even helping it.
But he made a threat like this before in, December of 2018, because I remember we were in Rocky Point. We had to drive to get back into our country. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. I mean, there's a lot of Americans who visit Mexico not by air, but by car, believe it or not. And then they'd be stuck. And then all the commerce that goes back and forth. We're talking $1.7 billion a day in goods that go back and forth. So hopefully he's just barking. That's what I'm hoping, and that something will be done. He doesn't actually shut down the U.S.-Mexican border.
To me, it sounds like a threat, but with Donald Trump, I never know, so I'm scared to say that, because he'll do things that other presidents wouldn't. But it sounds like he's just threatening them so that they'll do something, and I hope that's the case, especially when it comes to the Mexican border.
It's going back to the POTUS race and all the dumb candidates. So I keep seeing these pieces about Pete Buttigieg, the mayor of South Bend, that he is some sort of political genius. There's a story out this morning that he raised $7 million in the first quarter, so maybe he is. It's pretty impressive for a guy who's a mayor of a town of 100,000 people. But what is it about him that is catching people's fancy? Is it just that he's gay, or is there something else going on there?
I think what's catching a lot of people's fancy is that they don't know anything about him. They just have a sort of view of what he could be, I guess. Looks like Beto, he looks like a Beto-type candidate to me, but it's a guy who couldn't even probably win his own state. He's in a sort of mid-sized city. It doesn't make much sense, but I think there's just a lot of energy on that side, at least among the activist, class, and they get excited very easily about these candidates. I just don't see him as a long-term threat in that race, but you never know, I guess. It just seems like we already have similar sorts of candidates, so I don't get it, really, to be honest.
And do you see any of them as being able to beat President Trump? Is there one candidate in the field so far? Who?
Well, listen, I think that most people these days vote party, and there's not a lot of people whose minds can change. There are independents, obviously, who occasionally go back and forth. I think there's a lot of energy right now and anger on that side, So I think Trump will win, probably, but I think a lot of people could beat him, including Kamala Harris, probably. I'm not sure about Beto yet. I think Biden would have a good chance of being very competitive if he got out of that race, which maybe seems unlikely right now. I shudder to think that Bernie Sanders could win. I don't think he could win. I hope not. I hope we're not there. But I mean, he could lose. It's a close election where it's close if just looking at the state map and the electoral map.
I wanted to get your take on Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, this is classic right here. Classic rent-seeking behavior, and I just love this. Mark Zuckerberg's op-ed in the Washington Post talking about how the internet needs new rules. The government needs to step in, regulate the internet, harmful content, protect elections. 4 areas. Those are 2. Number 3, more globally harmonized framework with a privacy regulation in line with the EU. And finally, regulation should guarantee the principle of data portability. If you share data with one service, you should be able to move it to the other. Mark Zuckerberg enlisting the government to protect him from himself, it sounds like.
Right. I got so annoyed at that op-ed. The government, he wants the government to regulate speech for him. He can take care of his own company and do whatever he likes. I think this is a way to deflect away from his own culpability in things that supposedly happen. And by the way, those who blame Facebook for turning the election because they weren't paying close enough attention to Russian, trolls or whatever. I just find all that. I don't find that plausible. But anyway, he's trying to deflect attention. And, yeah, it's perfect traditional rent-seeking behavior that goes back to the days, of the early 20th century when people were doing the same sorts of things. It's not the government's job to make sure that his company is running correctly.
He is David Harsanyi, senior editor for thefederalist.com. The book, First Freedom, A Ride Through America's Enduring History with the Gun from the Revolution to Today. David, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
And caller number 9 for $1 million. Rita, complete this quote. Life is like a box of...
Oh, I know this one.
You're cutting out, Rita. We need your answer.
Oh my goodness. Life is like a box of chocolates.
Oh, sorry. That's not what we were looking for. On to caller number 10.
Bad network got you glitched out of luck? Switch to Boost Mobile's super reliable, super fast nationwide network and get 4 lines, each with unlimited gigs for just $100 a month. Plus, get 4 free phones. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
Offer ends 4/15/19. First line is $100 a month. Lines 2 to 4 free. Requires 1 line to port in. Video streams at up to 480p plus. Music at up to 500 kilobits per second. Gaming at up to 2 megabits per second. Data deprioritization during congestion. Free phones require port in. Coverage and offers not available everywhere. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Got another sign-worthy slogan from a listener, Amy.
All right, what is it?
Ready?
Yep.
Illinois isn't broken, it's foxed.
Oh, I see what you did.
Right after my guy after my own heart. Very
Hey,
nice.
it's tax season again, and the April 15th deadline is right around the corner. Today's April 1st. And if you haven't filed your tax returns the past few years or for several years, or maybe you're just in debt to the IRS and you don't know what to do or who to turn to, I want you to write down this name and number or save it on your phone. Attorney Stephen Leahy, 312-664-6649. Stephen will help you. Stephen's a friend of mine and a friend of AM 560 and host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard every Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock. You can trust Attorney Leahy to help solve your IRS problems. He's local right here in Chicago, available to meet with you one-on-one. And if you fear the IRS will take your money, bank account, wages, visit you at your home or job, and now they can even take your passport, then you need to talk to the trusted attorney of AM 560, Attorney Stephen Leahy. Call him now at 312-664-6649. Attorney Leahy will solve your IRS problems for good. Call 312-664-6649 or visit chicagotaxteam.com. That's chicagotaxteam.com.
What would you be willing to spend to make an often frustrating aspect of your business run smoothly? Perfect, hassle-free. Yep, talking about IT, networks, computers. Sure, it would be great to hire an entire IT department, but that would be expensive. There's salaries, benefits, space for new employees, equipment. Nope, not going to happen. Or could it? For only $7.95 a month, you can make your IT issue a thing of the past with Turnkey IT. Just like your own in-house IT department, but better. Turnkey makes it happen. They make it secure, and they make it smart. You'll be set up for success and in front of the many technical issues that can overwhelm a business. Turnkey becomes your IT department and help with all your daily IT issues, plus preventative steps to keep your business going. Have Turnkey do a complimentary network audit of your systems, even if you have a current IT company, so you know where you stand with your technology.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros, so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Hey, are you sore from golfing or doing some spring yard work? If so, then you should take Balance of Nature. It does help with muscle soreness. And you know why? Because it has 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies, all in a single capsule. No dyes, no preservatives. It's all natural. And Dr. Douglas Howard, the creator of Balance of Nature, he showed me the process of how they compress it, the fruits and veggies, squeeze out the water, put it into a capsule. It's really remarkable. And they're passionate about their product and about the people that they help. They showed me the emails. I listened to the voicemails from real people who've gotten healthy with Balance of Nature. And that could be you too. And folks, just so you know, fruits and veggies are on the rise. The prices are going up soon. So if you want to lock in a year's supply of Balance of Nature, this is what you do. Go to balanceofnature.com, type Chicago in the promo code. Again, fruits and veggies for an entire year plus free shipping. Balanceofnature.com, promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
A couple more signs. Let's see. Wait, you got you misstated Ron from Berwyn's. It's racism is nothing to hoax about.
Oh.
You got that? So now you have to redo that sign.
Wait,
You got to redo it.
Racism is nothing to hoax about, like
Right.
nothing to joke about. Well, I didn't
Right.
have enough room on my sign, so I just said racism is not a hoax.
Get a bigger sign. You're going to need a bigger sign. To fake a hate crime is to make a hate crime. It's not bad.
Oh, that's good.
And speaking, since we were talking to David Harsani about the 2020 field of Democrat socialists, it was interesting. Cabot Phillips over there at Campus Reform took to the campus of Georgetown University to ask the kids, who's the leader of the Democrat Party
Oh, yeah.
in the House? Is it AOC or Pelosi? AOC
Oh, no.
or Pelosi?
Please don't.
AOC or Pelosi?
I would probably choose Cortez, just because she's new, she's fresh, yeah.
I would say AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I think, unfortunately, Ocasio-Cortez is probably the face of the Democratic Party.
I think AOC is taking the party in a new direction. So,
in your opinion, who do you view as the face of the Democrat Party between the two?
Do you want me to hold her up?
Yeah, hold her up if you want.
There you go.
I'm going to have to go with Ocasio-Cortez for this day and age, yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Why is that?
I just see the Democratic Party definitely moving towards like a more liberal, progressive, kind of younger generation type thing. So at least around campus and things that I see, I definitely go with like the younger.
Okay.
She's changing the face of the party, and I think that as the millennial base participates more in politics, and as my age group participates more, there's going to be a lot more people steering that direction, steering in a more democratic socialist direction.
I think it's AOC. I sort of wish it weren't, but I do think we're going in that direction.
Well, I think she's just kind of representing a new, shift in the paradigm of liberal politics, and she represents like a new progressive thing that's really it's pretty prevalent on college campuses. And
Yeah, indeed it is, and apparently including Georgetown University. And it's important to note, because it goes again to say where is the energy in the party, and you see it with respect to the turnout for the Bernies and the Beddoes. And this is an opportunity for Republicans, not just Trump, up and down the ballot. I had this conversation yesterday. I spoke at a Crete Township, Will County GOP event. And I said, look, I remember back in 1996 when Democrats here, Madigan and company, localized national issues in a way that swept Republicans out of the South suburbs, never to be heard from again. In 1996, you remember, there was the Punch 10 election. And rather than running against a popular governor at the time in Jim Edgar, what did Mike Madigan do? He ran against Newt Gingrich. Every Republican state legislator and state legislative candidate was Newt Gingrich's candidate, because Newt Gingrich is a polarizing figure at the time, you'll recall. Bill Clinton in the White House and so forth. And it worked. I mean, in part, that was part of it. That was the messaging campaign. And then, of course, Punch 10, the straight ticket voting and the infrastructure they have was determinative. But it's the same opportunity here with AOC and the craziness of all of the Democrat socialist presidential candidates banning air travel, talking about cow flatulence, but enough about the ladies on The View, talking about reparations, national conversation on reparations, eliminating private health insurance, infanticide. We could go on and on. Republicans, if they're smart, beyond just Trump, maybe take a page out of his book, they should be making Democrats wear the jacket for this lunacy at every level of government, including tomorrow's local elections, although it's a little late in the game for that.
And
real opportunity.
Right, but millennials like AOC because she's one of them. I mean, she's 28 years old. She's
29.
good 29. Oh.
She's going to be 30 soon.
No. Once you're 29, you're always 29.
Okay.
Okay.
Of course.
But I'm saying she's in their wheelhouse, and she's good looking. If she was fat and short, she is short, but if she was fat and had acne all over her face, nobody would care what she's talking about. But she can relate to them because she was a bartender.
Well, that may be
know?
that may be true, but with people who have skin in the game,
yeah,
and are being and candidates that want their vote are proposing to sign on to the Green New Deal and all of these other radical left policies, they're just not down with that. and Republicans should take advantage of it more so than they are at every level. Stop making this just about Trump and whoever they nominate, and bring what they're saying from their aspirants down to the state and local level.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we're going to switch gears and talk to our friend Paul Kanger from Grove City College about one Pope Francis and the state of the Catholic Church. It turns out maybe that Pope Francis is not the first non-Catholic pope, as the left would have you believe. That's at 8:38.
and later Chick-fil-A getting kicked out of another airport. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Fair skies. Right now we have 31 degrees at 8:31. Ethiopian Airlines expected to release its report later today on the deadly crash of a Boeing 737 MAX jetliner. The March 10th crash, minutes after takeoff, killed all 157 on board. That report today is expected to focus on software issues suspected of bringing that plane down, as well as a similar Boeing 737 crash that killed nearly 190 in Indonesia. Meantime, some air travelers are still stuck on the ground at airports across the country because of system-wide outages. This morning, Southwest and Delta tweeting apologies to frustrated passengers. Former Vice President Joe Biden denies a former Nevada lawmaker's claims that he behaved inappropriately at a campaign event in 2014. Lucy Flores says Biden kissed her on the back of the head.
There are so many more incredible candidates that are just as likely and I believe are competent and amazing and can beat Donald Trump.
So Flores will not be supporting Joe Biden, who in a statement says he doesn't recall Flores's accusations. The search resumes later this morning for two who went missing in the DuPage River in Shorewood. 2 firefighters are hurt after battling a blaze on Chicago's southwest side, and the Reverend Jesse Jackson and a few other clergy members are gathering today in support of Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx as she faces criticism over the decision to drop charges in the Jussie Smollett case. Rangers beat the Cubs 11-10. White Sox 6-3 winners over the Royals. Blackhawks host the Jets later on tonight, and the Bulls visit the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. The news, a service of Dairy Queen. Your favorite chicken strips just got a bit sweeter with the new Sweet BFF. Introducing the new DQ Chicken and Waffles basket. A next-level combo of chicken strips, Belgian waffle fries, and syrup. Only at your DQ. Happy tastes good. 8:34, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is waiting for the reckoning.
There has to be responsibility taken for how this corrupt, pathetic narrative began. I think the American people demand it. From where I sit, this isn't political revenge. This is a reckoning that is needed to prevent this from ever happening again.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Keene Jr. of the Mail House, Inc., a family-owned and operated digital print mail house with a specialty in political advertising and a customer of Signature Bank. We knew that getting a loan to buy our business wouldn't be easy, so we turned to one of our trusted friends for a referral. She told us about the outstanding level of customer service her business received at Signature Bank since becoming one of their first customers in 2006. Today, we couldn't be happier. Not only did Signature help us finance the purchase of the mail house, but they supported our growth as we modernized our operations in mailing as well as from traditional to digital printing. If you're looking for a great bank to grow your business, take a look at Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MetaShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year, a month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MetaShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MetaShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MetaShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
8:36 and a check on the roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Tri-State Tollway southbound traffic is jammed now from 21 to Bradley Road. Northbound delays are from the Stevenson to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the Adams Tollway. Eastbound Adams Tollway, it's snarled 59 to Beecham and Lee to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from Highland to Roosevelt. And the northbound Veterans Memorial, 75th to the Reagan Tollway. The Army Trail toll to 290. Eden's 21 minutes like Cook to Montrose Kennedy, 50 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes, 390 to the Burn Circle, 49 minutes from Manheim. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 22 minutes, ID to the Merge, Bishop 420. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, a breezy day with sun and clouds mixed throughout the day. High 48. Currently 31 at O'Hare and 31 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
You work hard. You know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today.
See Dennis Prager at Cigar Night on Thursday, May 16th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Tickets on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cigar.
All right, we're still getting a lot of good signs, slogans, suggestions for this morning's rally. This tweet from at Cigarpuss.
Okay, that's. I'm sure he's going to your cigar event with
I like
Dennis Prager.
R. Kelly wishes he had Jussie's girl. That's pretty
Kim
good.
Foxx, Jussie's girl.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
That is really.
I don't know
good
if Rick
one.
Springfield will appreciate it, but that's
Very
pretty
creative.
good. Yeah, I like that. All right, very good. Okay, Unplanned, the Abby Johnson movie. We talked to Abby Johnson a few weeks back, released over the weekend. Interesting.
It did well in the box office.
Arrived more than 1,000 theaters had it on Friday. But ads for it, interestingly, rejected by Lifetime, the Hallmark Channel, HGTV, and other cable networks not named Fox.
Pulled in $6.1 million this weekend.
Good piece in the Journal about the R rating and the essential blackout by certain channels, media outlets, by Kansas City Archbishop Naumann in the Wall Street Journal. The R rating and this conduct, what is that signal? Signals Hollywood admitting that abortion is violent. And from the people I have not seen Unplanned yet, but from the people who have seen it, says pretty. If you thought Gosnell was moving,
Oh, I love Gosnell.
yeah, that wait for Unplanned. Also, this against the backdrop of what's going on at the state level. So obviously, you had the infanticide legislation signed into law in New York. KKK Northrum and the Virginia Minstrel Party is working on it in Virginia. And, of course, Governor Jelly Belly and the miniature Democrats in this state are doing the same in Springfield. But interestingly, talked about this before, even in this supermajority cultural Marxist state, supermajorities of Democrats in both chambers, Governor Jelly Belly, who wants to beat Northam and Cuomo as the most pro-infanticide governor in the country. The legislation here that would eliminate parental notification, that would allow non-doctors to perform invasive surgery, abortion, allow for late-term abortions, publicly financed, all that, right? Not tabled, but referred to subcommittee. So that means the skids aren't being greased for the legislation, in part because 15,000 witness slips filed to testify against the legislation organized by pro-life groups in this state. So the battle has been joined. And interestingly, even more so, Cardinal Cupich of Chicago took time out from carrying on about climate science and minimum wage laws to actually go down to Springfield and testify against these ghoulish legislative measures. Very interesting. And this also is a great segue to a discussion about Pope Francis, because one of the reasons Pope Francis enjoys such popularity is because the leftist media in this country, generally, but particularly in this country, has held him out as much as possible as the first pope who's not Catholic and doesn't believe in the catechism. And they focus on his forays into labor economics and climate science, and not so much on what he has to say about traditional Catholic doctrine as it pertains to family and life and other matters, which is why Paul Kanger's piece at Crisis Magazine was so interesting, because the Pope is so influential. Paul Kanger is a professor of poli-sci at Grove City College, which is one of the colleges that Peyton and Eli are allowed to attend.
Yes.
He is the author of the book Dupes, How America's Adversaries Have Manipulated Progressives for a Century. Paul, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good to be with you guys. Thanks.
So, I remember some of the statements that Pope Francis made, and I repeat them often when I'm in conversations with leftists about how wonderful Pope Francis is. I ask them,
right,
do you agree with Pope Francis that the redefinition of marriage is an anthropological regression? And you're met with silence. And that's sort of what you did in this extensive piece in Crisis Magazine, going through some of the Pope's pronouncements on these other cultural and religious matters.
Well, I appreciate that, because that's one of the main reasons I wrote the piece, is because I want conservatives, and I know a lot of conservatives have responded by saying, okay, you've got these 14 statements from Francis. Okay, we love these statements, even if we don't like Francis. We're still not sure what to do with the guy. And I'm saying in part, well, at the very least, share these with liberals, right, who think that they've got a pope here who supports same-sex marriage, pro-choice, all the different stuff that they just like to emotionally, cut and paste onto whatever it is that they're projecting out there. And you two started by talking about abortion. Well, point out to liberals that Pope Francis compared abortion to hiring a hitman. Right? Hiring a hitman.
Yeah.
And the quote on that is, quote, is it right to hire a hitman to solve a problem? You cannot. It is not right to kill a human being, regardless of how small it is, to solve a problem. It is like hiring a hitman to solve a problem. And people who might say, well, that's just one occasion, and yeah, that's kind of bad, but I don't know. Maybe he was just speaking off the cuff there. Well, how about the one where he compared abortion to Nazi eugenics? And he said, our abortion centers are like Nazis with white gloves. And I could go on and on and on like that. The guy is probably, in this piece for Crisis, I gave 14 general statements that will shock liberals. I could give 14 just pro-life statements from Francis that would shock liberals. And no matter what people might think of him on other issues, maybe on building walls, economic redistribution, whatever else, I'll tell you one thing: he's rock solid on the pro-life issue.
He is, but he's not rock solid on building a wall. I remember when he spoke out against President Trump for the first time, when he said barriers, we should now have any barriers in between countries. Do you remember that?
Except around the Vatican.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I checked the Drudge report this morning, and he's got one up at the very top. It looks like another one came over the weekend. So, this definitely, Amy, this is what I would emphasize to people, that for conservatives, he's a mixed bag, right? You're going to be able to pick 3 or 4 issues where he's totally with you, and 3 or 4 issues where he's totally not with you. And certainly immigration would be one of them. And I would point out to people on the immigration issue, and this is not so much a defense of him criticizing Donald Trump on this, it's just a statement of the way it is. And he and Trump actually talked about this in, I think it was May 2017 when Trump visited the Vatican. People need to understand that while Donald Trump is president of the United States and swears a duty to the Constitution, he runs a country that has borders. And so he has a country that has immigration laws. Now, Francis, on the other hand, runs a universal church, and the word Catholic actually means universal, right? And that's a church without borders. So he sees migrants, immigrants, and all he cares about is whether or not they have a safe place to go or a better place to go other than the lousy country that they live in. So Francis is representing a totally different constituency and comes at this at a totally different viewpoint from Trump. And I think in the discussion that they had on this back in 2017, they came to sort of an understanding on that, where Trump's like, all right, I can see your viewpoint, right? And Francis is like, well, I could see yours too. We'll have to agree to disagree on that. And he's been kind of harsh in his criticisms of Trump on that, especially when I've been to the Vatican. It's surrounded by a giant wall, right?
Right.
But that's I think that people need to understand that that's the main difference. They're representing different constituencies.
Against the backdrop of the sex abuse scandal within the church, Pope Francis has also inveighed against homosexuality. I mean, a lot of the discussion is from the left is about allowing priests to marry, allowing priests to be whatever sexual orientation they are and express that. And Pope Francis has been pretty clear on it.
Yeah, he has. And one of the examples that I give among my 14 statements is that he said no homosexuals in seminaries, period. And the exact quote is, if there's a doubt about homosexuality, he told this to Italian bishops last May, it's better not to have them enter the seminary. This is an exact quote. If you think that the guy is homosexual, don't put him in the seminary. So again, liberals, what do you do about that? And it's not the only time that he said it. And I also give examples where he talks about he's having a discussion with a priest or a bishop from Portugal or Spain, and the guy says something like, look, I understand that some of my priests are homosexual, but they're keeping it in the closet, they're living a celibate life. In these cases, that should be okay, right? And Francis says, no, that's not okay, right? People like that should not be priests. So it's a very intolerant, right, view by the progressive. Who am I to judge Pope? So I would say to liberals, what do you do with that? What do you do with that, Francis? I mean, I would say to conservatives, what do you do with that? You can't ignore that either.
If he was in Canada, he would be charged with a hate crime for saying such things. Frankly, if he's on a college campus here, he'd probably suffer the same fate.
Well, that's exactly right. And he's also said, and this is attributed to him in the infamous Cardinal Vigano letter, Bishop Vigano letter, where he said he said that bishops, quote, must not be left wing. Wow. And what does he mean by that? He said, when I say left wing, I mean homosexual. Which is right. So if you're a left wing, if you're a left wing bishop, that means you're a homosexual bishop, according to Francis. And so again, what do you do with that? So this is a lot of this is kind of confounding. It doesn't fit with our conceptions, preconceptions, our, I'll say it, prejudices about Francis, how we look at Francis. And if it leaves you even more confused about Francis, I would say, okay, well, me too. I'm confused by the guy as well. But there are a lot of statements like that about the guy, and the discussion of him tends to leave all of these out, whether you're on the right or the left.
He is Paul Kanger, professor of poli-sci at Grove City College. The book, Dupes, How America's Adversaries Have Manipulated Progressives for a Century, and the column, The Politically Incorrect Francis, is crisismagazine.com. Paul, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
All right. Great to join you guys anytime. Thanks.
Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I drive Lyft, and every once in a while I just mention this, and I say, I can only speak for me. I can't say how it's going to make somebody else feel, but for me, this has been the single biggest change for me for anything that I've taken. I've tried, smoothie diets and all kinds of stuff, but this really seems to work.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Stop by your local Ace for our biggest lawn and garden sale of the spring. Get a $5 reward for every $25 you spend on Scott's, Miracle-Gro, and Ortho products. And don't miss our neighborhood yard party this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. See product demonstrations plus get help for all of your lawn and garden projects. Hurry in for our biggest lawn and garden sale of the spring. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members at participating stores and acehardware.com through April 15th. Maximum reward of $50.
Hey, my friend's retail store was the victim of IoT password theft.
Yep. Cybercriminals are taking over security cameras, payment systems, and other IoT devices by exploiting vulnerabilities.
What if they target us and our dispersed network?
We're secured with Barracuda. We have advanced firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our cloud infrastructure, and total email protection.
Such a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
The Northwest Suburban Republican Lincoln Day Dinner has a long history of partnering with influential leaders to connect with core supporters. And this tradition continues Monday, April 8th in Palatine with Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who serves as the House Republican Conference Chair and the third highest position in the GOP House leadership. Secure your tickets for the Northwest Suburban Republican Lincoln Day Dinner and a photo opportunity and a private VIP reception with Congresswoman Liz Cheney today, going to lincolndd.org. That's lincolndd.org.
Improving your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at the Players Sports Center in Naperville with free admission and free parking. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home inside and out. This year's show is larger than ever, featuring experts in kitchens and baths, windows and siding, landscaping, lawn and tree care, flooring, painting, heating and air, and even solar power and green energy systems. Plus, enjoy the live cooking shows, free seminars, and exciting demonstrations, and save big on quality indoor and outdoor furniture and accessories, and so much more. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the Home and Garden Show this weekend at the Players Sports Center on Quincy Avenue, just off Ogden in Naperville, with free admission and free parking. For details, visit foxvalleyhomeshow.com. That's foxvalleyhomeshow.com.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. If you're looking to refinance, please call Team Hochberg. Mike, self-employed, lives in a $1 million home in Glenview, called to refinance and combined his $500,000 expiring adjustable rate mortgage and $100,000 HELOC. Mike planned on moving when his daughter graduates high school in 5 years, so to help Mike afford his constantly increasing and ridiculously expensive real estate taxes, I recommended an interest-only loan. Mike was hesitant at first, but after I explained his monthly payment would decrease over $1,100 a month, he told us to immediately get the ball rolling. If you're interested in lowering your monthly mortgage payment, like Mike, call the local mortgage experts right now on Team Hochberg at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com.
Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
When you hire a new employee, do you really know who you're hiring? What if you could do thorough research on potential employees and avoid future HR conflicts and trouble? It may sound like a daunting task, but with ETS Intelligence LLC, it's easy to get all the info on a potential hire. ETS is one of the leading private detective and security agencies in the U.S. Their client roster includes major law firms, insurance companies, high net worth individuals, and more. Our world can be a dangerous place to live and do business in. ETS Intelligence makes you safe by specializing in complex and high-tech investigations, background checks, computer forensics, surveillance, forensic accounting, and more. Let ETS Intelligence be the vetting intelligence agency for your company or business. They also provide personal security services. ETS Intelligence LLC, owned and operated by experienced active duty law enforcement. Call toll-free 800-230-7429. 800-230-7429.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I don't want to alert anybody, or alarm anybody, but I do want to alert you about this. The share of Americans not having sex has reached a record high.
Are these married couples who've been together for a long time?
Probably part of it.
Who are sitting that one out?
Well, that's the interesting thing, is what's driving that. No pun intended. The portion of Americans 18 to 29 reporting no sex in the past year more than doubled over the last 10 years. It's now almost a quarter.
Because men are finally realizing that no means no.
No, it's because they're finally realizing that video games are more fun. I'm just going to stay. No. I'm going to stay in, maybe watch a movie, play Call of Duty.
Well, why would you? I mean, I could not imagine being a white male in this society and trying to ask a woman out. Are you kidding me?
Well,
you'd have to walk on eggshells.
The other thing is, so there's the smart guys that I just described, and then there's the stay-at-home sons, right? That are not mature, are not off their parents' insurance, are not out of their parents' basement until well into their 20s or 30s. This is the point that Jean Twenge, who's a psychology professor at San Diego State, who we've spoken to before, makes in her book. More people in their 20s who don't have a live-in partner because they're waiting till later in life to get a partner, get married, and so forth. So under those circumstances, you could expect that less sex is going to happen. Yeah. Americans in their 30s, 40s, and beyond are much more likely to be married than those in their 20s. And so just, again, talking about it being later when you get hitched. She also makes the point labor force participation among young men has fallen, particularly after the recession. So during that period, looking at 2008 to 2018, there was a period where you had a recession, you had higher unemployment, and so that certainly skews the numbers, maybe the first half of the 10 years that you're looking at coming out of recession.
You're scaring me.
Why? Why am I scaring you?
I don't know. It's just so weird because when we were in high school, Peyton's in high school and nobody has girlfriends or
exactly. That's good news for you.
No, I know, but
I mean, you want them to be socialized with girls.
Yeah, but they're they're afraid to be wrongly accused of something. It's not good. Trust me, because girls are falling all over both of my boys, really.
This one shouldn't shock you either. Oh, of course they are. Because they're your boys, of course. 54% of unemployed Americans didn't have a steady romantic partner compared with 32% among the employed. So, it's almost twice. So, tell Peyton and Eli, hey, you got to go out there and make a living.
Exactly.
You got to show you're responsible and you're going to produce for the affair of sex. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical producer, Quinn McCarthy, who is, what is he today? Sign maker extraordinaire?
Sure. Sloganeer.
And to you guys for listening. We're back here bright and early, 5 a.m. Now here is Mike Scott.
Authorities are searching for two on the DuPage River this morning. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
Meaningless and a waste of billions.